100 competitors.
And Free is going to be the second newcomer of this tournament to clear stage 1. He has a chance to get the
4
fastest time on the
stages.
stage. And he's going to do it right now with 20.1 seconds left, and that is currently the fastest time in stage 2. The question is, will it stand? That's a Saturday.
1 goal.
He's onto it now. And he has done it! An epic Reshiram has cleared the 3rd stage! Oh my gosh,
This
he's
is-
actually close to the top! An epic! No! He was right there! Hello peoples, BubbaAce here, and welcome to Ninja Warrior of Roblox. This is the 22nd tournament. History was made in the last tournament, as we finally saw someone reach the final stage for the first time in the new Roblox terrain era. Now history is going to be made this tournament, no matter what the end result will be, as when the 100 competitors of this tournament take on the course, we will see a total 2,000 attempts on stage 1. As such, the competitors' numbers will start with 1901 and will work up to seeing the 2,000th attempt. And another thing to look forward to this tournament is we will see many more competitors from the Halo jumping community who will either be making their debut to this course or returning to this course. Another bit of history to be made is this will be the final tournament. That's right. After hosting this show for 5 years, I think it's time to call it quits. With that said, can we end the show on a high note and crown a champion before laying the course to rest? We'll find out today. But first things first, the competitors will have to get past stage 1. Stage 1 has gone through a few changes since the last tournament, the most notable one being that gold tunnel at the start line. As for the obstacles, first is the 12 timbers, redesigned to give them more of a log-like appearance, and the jumps have been made slightly more difficult. Next is the all-new second obstacle, the rolling rock, replacing the rolling cage. Competitors will have to jump onto the front of the boulder to get it rolling, then survive the 10+ stud drop, and continue to jump on front of the boulder to keep it rolling up the 3-degree slanted track. Then the Saturn has been modified to now you no longer have to walk with the ring, you can ride it. But you still have to time your jump right to get over the hurdle. The difficulty of the hurdle jump has been retained. Also, the warped wall has been modified. Prior to this tournament, there was an update on jump physics where you can get jump cut on angled blocks. That said, an invisible aligned brick has been added to the center of the wall to help getting up the wall a little easier. But you still gotta get a good jump to catch the top and before the stopper cuts you off. And with these changes, plus the addition of the rolling rock specifically, 5 seconds have been added to the timer. So the competitors will have 1:45 seconds to hit the red button awaiting them at the end and clear stage 1. Those that succeed in doing so will move on to the more difficult second stage. So let's not dilly-dally any longer and get this tournament started, with competitor number 1901 awaiting at the start line. Kicking off this tournament is newcomer TechBot. Obviously one of those competitors who replaces the vowels with numbers. I don't know why that's a thing. Well, anyway, starting with newcomer, he was one of the many who ended up clearing in the qualifiers, and he chose to be number 1 for this tournament. So let's see how he does. First thing on rolling rock, gets past it. After the Saturn, easily over the hurdle, and clears the obstacle. Doing pretty well. Oh, he's not regenerating the shapeshifter. Doesn't seem to come out to bite him. He gets through it. So I guess it didn't matter. Jumping Spire now going at a really quick pace. That's good. Ooh, going quickly through the jumping spiral. Almost loses it there. But he's past it. Well done. Still got a minute left as he takes on the pendulum swing. He's got more than enough time to clear stage 1, as long as he doesn't stumble here. Gets past the pendulum swing and now for the warped wall. Gets up and in 1. He's doing really well. I think it's the fastest pace of anyone so far in this era. I mean, that might be a bit of a stretch. I mean, probably not as fast as Ozzy Pro even for even direct from Master it, but I digress. Anyways, onto the wing nuts now. Doing really good. Gets onto the third one now. Now just got to get a good swing onto the cannonball climb. Gets onto it, down to 30 seconds, got more than enough time, but speeds his way up, and TechBot, competitor number 1, is going to clear the first stage with exactly 24 seconds left. And for the first time since CG10 in Tournament 3, competitor number 1 in the tournament clears stage 1. There's really nothing more to say about this run. He sped his way through the obstacles, and punched his ticket to stage 2. And for the second time in Ninja Warrior Roblox history, competitor number 1 in the tournament becomes the first competitor to clear stage 1. Well done to TechBot. Just had our first runner, and already our first clear of the tournament. But we're nowhere close to being done yet. On to the second competitor. Maybe we'll see back-to-back stage 1 clears out of the first 2 runs. Now onto the start line is regular Ekardus, making his 19th appearance on the course. Made his debut in Tournament 2 as Nice Cat 9009. Changed his name to Ekardus in Tournament 10. And he achieved his personal best in Tournament 20, where he went out on the wing nuts. Last tournament, he went out on the Saturn. The only tournaments he missed were 16 and 17. Let's see how will he do on the final tournament. Can he finally get that first stage 1 clear? Onto the rolling rock now. Rolling rather slowly. Survives the drop. Just gotta get it up the track. Now he's doing the jump technique. It did cost him a little bit of time, but he's gonna get in the track and clear rolling rock. Now for the Saturn, where he went out last tournament. Can he get his revenge? I believe last tournament was the only time he ever failed Saturn. But he's not gonna beat it for a second time in a row. He gets revenge on the Saturn. Now for the shapeshifter. Gets through that nicely. Gets past that. About 50 seconds left. He takes on the jumping spider. Catches onto it nicely. Finds up it quickly. Getting the walk across. Gets through that nicely. Drop down. Past the jumping spider. Still got plenty of time as he attempts the pendulum swing. Oh, got onto that second pendulum, but he gets by. 30 seconds now. He takes on the warped wall. Gets up and in 1. Well done. Now for the wing nuts. Failed these in Tournament 20. He's tied for his personal best. Can he finally beat him this time? 20 seconds. No! He undershoots the transition to the second wing nut. He doesn't get a good enough swing. And he's out on the wing nuts once again. Next up is newcomer Bowser Spice. Yep, I know all of you are screaming in the chats. Like, Bowsy! Or Bowser! You know, considering his status from current day. Or modern day, whatever. But let's just pretend it's still 2018, and he's new to both this course and the community, and no one knew what to expect from this guy well after this tournament. But he gets quickly through them. Through 12 Tempers, really. Well done. It's not like I have very low expectations for these competitors, just usually when someone new comes along, it's reasonable to think, you know, maybe they won't do so well, and they'll do much better, you know, if they stay in the community and you know, continue to improve on. Had a little trouble with the Saturn, but he gets by. Now for the shapeshifter. Yeah. Of course, nowadays it's silly to think that, you know, not seeing a good performance from this guy is ridiculous. By the time this was recorded, you know, no one knew what to expect. Case in point, undershoots the jump onto the jumping spider. Nowadays, that would be quite shocking. Next up is regular lowly Captain America, who's making his landmark 10th appearance on the course. Made his debut back in Tournament 9. Since then, he's been beating on and off. Got a bit of a late start. Guess he's a little skeptical, considering that he's onto the 12 Timbers, which is where he failed last tournament. Big step up from when he competed before that, back in Tournament 19, where he achieved his personal best by going out on the 6th obstacle, the Slippery Logs. Before then, he had gone no further than the 4th obstacle, going out usually on either the first or the 4th. But anyway, getting through Rolling Rock nicely. Got a pretty good pace going. And I still believe around the time he was doing his own Wipeout, or Roblox Wipeout competition. I don't know if he still does that anymore, but you know, it's nice to see that the work he's put into that community is starting to pay off here, and hopefully does. Ooh! Went all over the place on the shapeshifter, but he gets by. Well, really nice save there. Onto the jumping spider now. Quickly catches onto it. Gets the climb up nicely. After the walk across. Almost rushes there, almost cost him, but he gets by. Survives the drop, and he survives the jumping spider. Now for the pendulum swing. If he can pass this, it'll be a new personal best. And he does so! So no matter what, it's a new personal best for lowly Captain America. You know, he wants to go further than that. Can't get up to 1-1. He's going to want to get up on this attempt if he wants a chance to clear stage 1. He does not. Can he get up on his 3rd attempt at least? He does, but he's only down to 20 seconds. That's not going to be enough time to get through the remaining obstacles. But can he at least get far on the wing nuts? No, he will not. He will slip off the first wing nut and go out there. So unfortunately, lowly Captain America is not going to clear stage 1 for the final tournament and on his landmark 10th appearance. But on the plus side, at least he achieved a new personal best at the very end. Next up is newcomer Cyrus08UK, also known as Tricky Cyrus on Halo. Quite the Halo jumper. He's the top competitor on most of the Halo jumping courses. Others still leave some to be desired. Of course, I'm not one to talk. Lol. And I believe at one point Cyrus did his own jumping competition on Roblox. I don't know if that's a thing or if I'm just thinking of something else. And I think he at one point, or still doing, a jumping course on Minecraft. That'd be interesting if he is. Again, I don't know who's becoming that or whatever. Anyway, onto Saturn, gets over the hurdle, and he's past that. Well done. So he's already more than proven himself on Halo. Can he do so on Roblox? Or at least on this course. Not sure about his status as a Roblox jumper, but we're seeing that it's off to an amazing start. It's onto the jumping spider. He's down to less than a minute, but he's still got more than enough time to clear stage 1. Let's see if he can get past the jumping spider. Doing a few extra hops. Doesn't want to slip off. He gets through the jumping spider. Now for the pendulum swing. So we got time. How will we do here? It's almost like pendulum, and he's past that. Now for the warped wall. Can he get up this? Doesn't get up on his first attempt. Still got plenty of time. Can he get on his second attempt? Well, a little spin out there. Well, still got time. Can't get up on his 3rd attempt. He's only going to have time for one more attempt to still have a chance of clearing stage 1. He does! On 20 seconds, he's still got time. He's really going to have to speed through these wing nuts. Oh, he's not getting up big spins on these, or swings on these wing nuts. Taking too many swings on the first one. He gets onto the second, he's only down to 10 seconds, and unfortunately, he's going to time up. Can he at least get to the Cannonball climb? He will not. He gets cut by the first wing nut, makes it to the 3rd, and that's where his time is going to expire. Makes the transition to Cannonball climb. He's made it, but unfortunately, he is timed up. He was doing so well on the course, getting through the obstacles quickly and easily, but it all went downhill when he got to the warp wall. During his 2nd attempt, he had a weird little spin-off. Probably either his mouse, keyboard, or controller. I don't know what he was using here. He was taking too many swings on the first wing nut, which killed any chance he had left of clearing stage 1. Even then, he got cut by the first wing nut while swinging on the second one, and his time expired just as he was about to transition off the 3rd wing nut. He came close, but it just wasn't enough, but still a great newcomer performance nonetheless. After that, we didn't see much improvement from the next 4 competitors. First was Reality Gamer 19, formerly known as NWFan, who's making his 2nd appearance after last appearing in Tournament 16. And his reality was becoming the first victim of Rolling Rock. Next was Power Jaden, who made his debut in the last tournament. he went out on the jumping spider last time, and unfortunately went out on it again, in a similar way that he did last time. After that was Fragile Shattered Glass, formerly known as BRL06, who is making his 6th appearance after also last appearing in Tournament 16, and he was quite fragile on the Saturn, failing to make the jump onto the ring. Then finally was newcomer Gabe the Pickle, who slipped off the walk section of the jumping spider and becoming more dirty than Pickle Rick. Well, now waiting at the start line is our first veteran to take on Stage 1 this tournament. It is Pete the Cat 1, making his 2nd appearance on the course. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he cleared Stage 1 with the slowest Stage 1 clear time. But that's irrelevant. What is relevant is that he was the first to clear Stage 1 in the last tournament. And even more relevant that he actually has a cat on his person. Last tournament he didn't. At least I don't think he did. Whatever. Anyway, he's on to Rolling Rock now. Rolling nicely. And he's past it. Now for the Saturn. Over the hurdle very nicely. No struggles with it at all. Quickly onto the Shapeshifter. No problems there either. Still got over a minute left as he takes on the jumping spider. Gets onto it nicely. Now for the climb up, gives up quickly. Now for the walk across, doing the straight forward technique, and it cost him. He didn't get enough distance to make the jump. Not going to clear Stage 1 in back-to-back tournaments. For one veteran who cleared Stage 1 in the last tournament to another, this is G-Man 992421, making his 12th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 11, and has competed in every tournament since then. Cleared Stage 1 for his first time in Tournament 18, and didn't do so again for his 2nd time until the last tournament, where he also achieved a new personal best by getting to the cable circuit. Fun fact, he was the first competitor to clear Stage 1 in the new terrain. Speaking of which, another fun fact, his Stage 1 nemesis of the new terrain is the jumping spider. Because in the tournaments where he didn't clear Stage 1, that's the obstacle he went out on. So I guess it's safe to assume that if he beats the jumping spider again this tournament, he'll be heading back to Stage 2. We'll just have to wait and see as he gets back to attending it now, with a minute left. Gets on to it nicely, gets the climb up, now for the walk across, and he slips off and he fails the jumping spider for a 3rd tournament. His nemesis comes back to bite him once again. After watching the first 2 veterans go out on the jumping spider, now on to our next regular on the course, Zakadu 2010, better known as Flamosaurus on Halo. Like G-Man, he made his debut on this course in Tournament 11. Unlike G-Man, he's yet to clear Stage 1. He competed in Tournaments 11 through 14, before disappearing for a while to focus on Halo jumping. Then he decided to return in Tournament 19. But after that run, he more or less retired from Roblox jumping to become more of a Halo jumper, and nowadays he's the host of Spartan Ninja Warrior, his own Halo jumping competition. But now he's back, making his 6th appearance on the course, competing in the final tournament. His personal best came in Tournament 13, where he failed the bungee bridge. Now, a bit of a lag on the Shapeshifter, and the circle got stuck, but he's quickly recovering and he's beating it. Now for the jumping spider with less than a minute left, he's still got time to clear Stage 1. Gets onto the jumping spider nicely. He did beat the jumping spider back in Tournament 13, although that version was much easier than this one. But this one doesn't prove to be much more difficult for him. He's beaten the harder version. And now for the pendulum swing. Can he get past this? He does! So this is a new personal best for Zakadu on the final tournament, no less. Gets up the wall in one go! Could we possibly see him clear Stage 1? Did he temporarily transfer his Halo jumping skills onto Roblox? Quickly onto the 2nd wing nut. Still got more than enough time to clear. On the 3rd wing nut now. Oh my goodness. Can he get onto the Cannonball climb? Yes, he does. Got 15 seconds left. Can he get the climb up? Yes, he will. And Zakadu 2010 is going to clear the first stage for the first time on Roblox in less than 10 seconds left. He doesn't manage to beat the Klaxon, but it doesn't matter because he's moving on to Stage 2. The first Halo jumper to clear Stage 1 on this course. Or I guess Halo jumper at the time this tournament was recorded. Ah, who cares? He handled the obstacles with little to no trouble. And a surprising twist is moving on to stage 2. Well done to Flame. Or is that? I'm gonna call him Flank, and that's what we all know him better as anyway. What a comeback! We've seen competitor comebacks before. This is just another to add to the list. Now let's see if competitor number 13 is going to be Lucky 13. Well, it's possible because it's veteran Robbie Yates 123, making his second appearance on the course. Like Pete the Cat 1, he made his debut in the last tournament and cleared stage 1. But unlike Pete the Cat 1, he also cleared stage 2. Let's hope he doesn't meet the same fate as Pete did in this tournament, going out on stage 1. Getting quickly through the 12 timbers. Not a problem for him. Now for Rolling Rock. Who's gonna do it sideways? Alright, let's see if that works for him. I'm getting up the track. And he's past that. Now for the Saturn. Gets over the hurdle. Nails it. Onto the shapeshifter now. Get by this. Whoa! He overshoots the other side of the circle. And he's out on the shapeshifter. Now we're on to regular football fan 0506, making his third appearance. Made his debut in Tournament 20, where he went out on the 12 timbers. Last tournament, he went out on the jumping spider. So quite the leap from going on the first obstacle in his debut to going out on the 5th obstacle in his second appearance. And he's past the 12 timbers. I think faster than he did last tournament. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. Anyway, on the Rolling Rock. Getting through it nicely, and he's past it. Why is he wearing a suit? Isn't he afraid of getting that dirty? I guess it's more sent to try and clear so that he doesn't ruin that suit. And he's past the Saturn now for the shapeshifter. Didn't have trouble with his last tournament. Gets by again. Bringing it out, not just about Robbie Yates. Gets onto the jumping spider now for the climb up. And he rushes the walk section and fails the jumping spider for his second tournament in a row. From one regular making his third appearance on the course to another, this is Tunvi 101. Although, he made his debut in Tournament 19, where he went out on the Saturn. Missed out on Tournament 20, but came back in the last tournament, where he failed the rolling cage. Now, at the time I'm recording the commentary for this, he had joined the Halo jumping community. I don't think he's part of the Roblox jumping community anymore to this date, but nice to see that he's still in the jumping community, just in a different platform. Speaking of Halo jumping, ooh! Almost slipped on the Rolling Rock there. Well, now he's onto the Saturn now. If he can get past this, it'll be a personal best. Gets over the hurdle, and he's cleared the Saturn, so it's a personal best for him. He wants to do better. As I was saying, speaking of Halo jumping, the game has moved on to Infinite, where now PC players can join, so if anyone there wants to give Halo jumping a try, now you can on PC. In the past, you always had to be on console, but now it's console and PC. So it'd be nice to see more of you guys trying out Halo jumping. But again, I'm not going to force you to. And Tuffy's doing really well. He's already onto the warp wall with 40 seconds left. Can't get up on his first go, but can he get up on his second attempt? He will. Still got plenty of time left as he takes on the wing nuts. Get by these. It's on to the second one. Still got time left. Getting big sweeps and getting through them quickly. Set on the second one, but he's on to the third wing nut now, less than 20 seconds. Can he safely get onto the Cannonball climb? Ooh, gets cut there. And he's onto the Cannonball climb. Now just gotta climb up it. Oh, it's gonna be close. He's climbing slowly. Get to the top. And Tuffy 101 is going to clear the first stage with 0.7 seconds left. Barely punches his ticket to stage 2, but he's cleared the first stage. He went from going on the third obstacle in his debut to the second obstacle in his second appearance to clearing the first stage on his third appearance. Had a bit of a close call on Rolling Rock there. But after that, it was smooth sailing. A close call at the end, but regardless, Tunby 101 is our third competitor, moving on to stage 2. After that, newcomer, the American Roblox kid, took to the course, and after some shenanigans on the shapeshifter, getting caught near the down section of the jumping spider, and just barely beating the stopper on the warped wall, he also managed to clear stage 1, with currently the second fastest time. So that's now 4 stage 1 clears in just 16 runs. Next up we have... What's that looking in the shadows? Wait, that outfit. Could it be? Is it the return of Roblox guess? Oh, no. It's just a newcomer by the name of Roblox is the bestest. Man, like this video if you miss Roblox guests. As for this guy, not the most original name. Even then the is a misspell, but that's how a lot of people are spelling it and he's frozen on the log there. What's he doing? There he goes. And he's wearing a guest outfit. That's definitely not sus at all. But he's most definitely someone young. Or it could be she, I don't know. And he's frozen again. Are they just lagging? That opens up, they're going incredibly slow. And trying to get the rolling rock moving. It's moving now, but... And he's phasing through the boulder. Catches onto it somehow. And he's not jumping, that's gonna cost him. He's gonna start rolling backwards, and he's frozen again. What is going on? That's definitely not a Roblox guess, but he's certainly behaving like one. Anyway, it's on to the Saturn now. I don't know why he's pausing so many times. Maybe he is lagging. He's probably suffering from lag. Well, it certainly doesn't help him get over the Saturn. He's out on it. Now we're on to regular Kink Sparkety, making his 8th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 14 under the name Robloxian Ninja 10, where he went out on the rolling boulder. He's competed in almost every tournament since then, usually going out on either the first or the third obstacle. He achieved his personal best in Tournament 19 by getting to the jumping spider, but was unfortunately disqualified as he touched one of the truss supports. He got there again on his last appearance in Tournament 20, and he failed it more legitimately. Can he at least get back there and hopefully improve on it this time around on the last tournament? It's onto the Saturn now. Gets over the hurdle nicely, and he's by it. Now onto the shapeshifter now. Oh my goodness, he undershoots the jump to the triangle. That's surprising, but unfortunately he's out, unable to achieve a new personal best. And now we're on to our next Halo jumper, Jesus Life 5. Despite what that graphic on top says, well, it was actually quite a few months since I last sent on this run to my run editor, Ekardus. And since then, he's changed his name from Jesus Life 5 to Daddy Cheese. Why he changed it to that? I have a hunch why, but for the sake of his personal life, I'm not going to speak of it. Anyway, he is making his debut on this course. Very fitting. And you may not recognize that username in the background, but that's actually going to be someone running later, and you'll find who it is when he does appear. Anyway, Cheese has passed the 12 timbers, took him almost 30 seconds to get by, and now for the rolling rock, rolling backwards, and he's going to push it before getting rolling, very smart. Can he stay on the boulder as it approaches the drop? He does! Oh, but he's still doing the backwards technique. Nope, that's not going to work, and he slips off the rock, and he's out on rolling rock. But a valiant effort nonetheless. Next up is newcomer DakDi64YT, who's stolen my outfit. Hope he's no relation to Party Fun 64. And I'm kind of questioning what I'm wearing right now. You know, my Roblox avatar. Don't put that image in your head. Oh, too late. Focus on this. He's passed on the 12 timbers. Now for Rolling Rock. We get it going. It's gotta go in. Doing the forward technique, like a lot of people have. Still onto the rock. He's still gonna run forward. He's gotta jump on it now, otherwise he's not gonna advance forward. He's not doing that. Well, he's got the... He prevented the rock from going backwards, but... Oh, spoke too soon. We're going back now, but he still managed to hang on to the boulder. That's gonna cost him a lot of time. He's gotta... There he goes. Gotta jump on the front of it in order to get it moving. And seems he does not know what to do. He's chewing up a lot of time now. The question is he gonna get past this obstacle before his time expires? He doesn't have enough time to clear stage 1, but can he at least get past a Rolling Rock? He really does not know what to do, so I kind of not to tell him what to do in order to escape this situation. I mean, I'm not gonna grant him. Oh, never mind. He's fallen off the front and gotten my outfit wet. Next up is undoubtedly the best competitor of all time, Bowling Boy Ninja. Or at least the most dedicated. Anyway, he's making his 8th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 6 under the name Bowling Boy 02. Yeah, he swapped the I and L in bowling. Anyway, he changed his name to what it is now in the following tournament. He initially competed in tournaments 6 through 10, where he's failed the 4th obstacle 3 of those 5 times. He took a break from the course after tournament 10 before returning in tournament 15, originally as a one-time thing, where he went out on the 1st obstacle. He returned in the last tournament, going out on the Saturn, which he's on to now, and he's over the hurdle and beats that. Now he's on to the new 4th obstacle, Shapeshifter. If he can get past this, it'll be a new personal best. Getting through it nicely. Ooh, almost was a bit hasty on the circle, but he's passed the Shapeshifter. It's a new personal best. It'll be the first time ever, or actually not first time ever, taking on the Jumping Spider. It was the 4th obstacle in tournaments 8 and 9. So, handle it this time? Yes, he will. Doing great. Making his last appearance on the course count. I mean, this last tournament, so yeah. Anyway, Warped Wall. Can he get through this? Yes, he does. Now for the wing nuts. Looking good. Come on, bowling. Can he achieve the first stage clear on the final ever tournament? Taking too many swings on the first one, but he's still got time. On to the second one now. Still got a little time left. Can he get it onto the 3rd wing nut? Taking too many swings, but he can afford it. Onto the 3rd one now. He's still got time. Now can he get a good swing onto the Cannonball climb? The klaxon is sounding. Screen is frozen. He catches onto it, but now he's got to climb out. Come on, bowling. Onto the 3rd. 4th. Oh, and it looks like he slipped off the 4th Cannonball. And he's out on the Cannonball climb. Oh, it would have been so close to clearing regardless. Let's take another look. He finally got past the 4th obstacle, something he hadn't achieved before. Had a brief stumble on the dismount of the pendulum swing, and he had about 35 seconds left as he got to the wing nuts. He was taking one too many swings on each of the wing nuts, however, but of course he had the time to do so as he didn't want to make a simple mistake during any of the swings. But the klaxon was going off as he got to the Cannonball climb, and he was climbing up it slowly. And while he couldn't get a better shot of it, it seemed bowling slipped off the 4th Cannonball and fell into the water. But even if that didn't happen, he probably would have ran out of time anyway, considering the pace he was going on those final 2 obstacles. Oh, you hate to see it. But it's great to see bowling doing well on this course for the first time. Now we're on to regular Spacey Racy 2012, making his 2nd appearance. He made his debut in Tournament 20, where he went out on the spinning rings. Last tournament he was a bonus runner, but now he's an official runner again in this tournament. Bit of a delay before he started. It's already a good sign right there. Going pretty quickly on the 12 timbers. Not the fastest pace, but definitely not the slowest. And he's passed him. No one has really had trouble on the 12 timbers so far this tournament. Despite the slight buff, redesign, yeah, don't really have much trouble in him. Very easy through Rolling Rock. Very impressive. Didn't dismount it early. Just got the boulder all the way to the end of the track. I mean, it's possible to do that, but you know, not many people will try to do that considering that the red tracks are placed a few degrees higher than the regular track. Quickly through the Saturn and the shapeshifter as I was saying all that, but now he's onto the jumping spider. Oh, this is a personal best for him. I just realized because shapeshifter replacing spinning rings, and that was 4th obstacle, so that's a personal best. Very quickly through the jumping spider, so despite the delay of the start, he's picking up the pace. And he undershoots the transition to the second pendulum, the pendulum swing, thus becoming its first victim this tournament. Next up is a competitor who seems to be afraid of the light a bit. It is Zekio124. I mean, he was a bonus runner last tournament. I guess that was his official debut, but bonus runner, so it doesn't count. I mean, he could have been something else before, and I just wasn't aware of it. I mean, I've made that mistake before, so feel free to correct me by saying that if he did compete in the previous tournament under a different name, that I never get informed of because some people think that they're being clever. Anyway, until then, I'm going to call him a newcomer. Anyway, he's onto the Saturn now. Gets over the hurdle nicely. And past that, now for the shapeshifter. He nicely walks around the circles rather than jumping on it. But he gets by, he's got over a minute left as he attempts the jumping spider. Quickly onto it, quickly up the climb. Takes his time on the walk across, smart. And quickly hit the climb down. Through the jumping spider, pendulum swing now. Gets by that nicely. Now for the warped wall. Gets up on his first attempt. Well done. 40 seconds as he takes on the wing nuts. He has a chance to challenge TechBot's time. On to the second wing nut now. On to the third. Ooh, grabs the top of it, and I think that might have killed the momentum he had, so he's not going to beat TechBot's time. But he can get the new second fastest time, assuming he clears. He catches onto the Cannonball climb, taking his time climbing up. Doesn't want to make a mistake. But Zekio is going to punch his ticket to stage 2 with the 3rd fastest time of exactly 16 seconds left. Couldn't quite beat the American Roblox Kids time, but it doesn't matter because Zekio is going to become the 3rd newcomer in this tournament to advance to stage 2. We're not even a quarter of the way through stage 1, and we already have 5 clears. We haven't had this much early success since Tournament 3. Tournament 7 had 4 Stage 1 clears in the first 23 runs, so hopefully this is a sign we'll see a new Stage 1 clear record in this final tournament. But first we'll need to see how the next wave of runners do here. With the next man up being veteran Fortunate as OP09, making his 4th appearance on the course. He was fortunate in the last tournament as he cleared stage 1. He made his debut back in tournament 19, where he failed the rolling boulder. Second appearance in tournament 20, he failed the spinning rings. Both obstacles of which are no longer on the course. I mean, he did manage to get his revenge on the rolling boulder in tournament 20, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get his revenge on the spinning rings. I guess he kind of, indirectly got revenge on it by getting past its successor, the shapeshifter. Anyway, he's already past the Saturn now, so can he beat the shapeshifter a 2nd time in a row? Yes, he will, very nicely. Still got over mid his left as he takes on the jumping spider, doing some victory hops, and he fails to catch onto the glass panels, and he's out on the jumping spider. Very unfortunate. Wearing the 1925 is regular Lock 1999. It probably would have been hilarious and slightly made more sense if he did wear 1999, but given his current status, no. Anyway, he's back making his 14th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 5 and competed in every tournament since then up until Tournament 15. He missed Tournament 16, but came back for the final tournament to be hosted on the old terrain. After that, he didn't compete again until the last tournament. He's never gotten past the 8th obstacle of stage 1. It's usually the last obstacle or second to last obstacle. In Tournament 7 was the Tarzan ropes, in Tournament 9 was the Stairway to Victory, in Tournament 10 was the ramp climb, and he just barely gets over the hurdle on the Saturn, and he's through it. And last tournament's the wing nuts. Can this be the tournament he finally gets a breakthrough and clear stage 1? No, it doesn't! He slips off the front of the triangle in the shapeshifter, and he's out on the 4th obstacle. Next up is Turkey Man, known as It's Shane Time, making his second appearance on the course. He last appeared in Tournament 19, which was also his debut. That time he went out on the Saturn. Let's see how he does. Unfortunately, turkeys cannot fly, especially on this course, so his turkeyness isn't going to help him. Unless he's hoping to avoid the water, because hopefully he didn't mistake it for gravy. On the rolling rock, and he slips. He missed the front of the boulder on that second jump, and he's out on a rolling rock. Hope he doesn't mistake that water for gravy. Now we're on to veteran Tyler Roberts 928. We're in number 27, or I guess 1927, rather than 1928. Anyway, Tyler's making his 12th appearance on the course. I've said this many times before, it won't hurt to say it at least once more. He made his debut in Tournament 10 under the name Coffee Mug 20013, until he changed it to his current name in Tournament 13. He's competed in almost every tournament since his debut, missing only Tournament 18. When he returned in Tournament 19, almost undershot getting onto the ring on the Saturn, but he's through that. And as I was saying, when he returned in Tournament 19, he cleared Stage 1 for the first time. But his personal best came in the last tournament, where he made it to Stage 3. And he's not going to get there for his second tournament in a row. Got cut off on the trampoline on the jumping spider, and that's where it's going to end for him. Now we're on to regular Adhesimal, where the number that Tyler probably should have worn. Anyway, he's making his second appearance on the course. Most of you probably know him as like Papa Strawberry or someone else nowadays. And I'm bringing this up now because he's not moving. Yo, you're not a strawberry. Get moving. Get moving. There we go. Took 10 seconds longer than needed to. A little more than that, but I digress. Anyway, he made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the pendulum swing. He's one of only 3 competitors to go on the pendulum swing on last tournament. Anyway, he's onto the rolling rock now. Getting it rolling nicely. And he misses the boulder as it hits the drop, and he's out on the second obstacle. Now we're moving on to newcomer Vaporay 1589, who has a peg leg. Wonder how he lost that. Maybe he's secretly a pirate. Or was at one point. Well, let's just hope that he can get through one leg. Well, it's not getting him through the start line. Does he not know how this works? Come on, you gotta get moving. The light's lit up, that's when you go. Oh, of course he doesn't know when to go. That's the newcomer on course. If you're new to this course, you're probably not gonna know how to start unless you watch the show. Anyway. Yeah, with the time he has left, there's no way he's clearing Stage 1, but let's see how far he does go. He's on the rolling rock now. Kind of rolling at a very slow pace. Oop, kind of lagged a bit, but he's still on it. And he's past that. Down 2 minutes, he takes on the Saturn. Ooh, catches onto it barely. Gets over the hurdle, very nicely done. Onto the shapeshifter. For a peg leg competitor, he's doing pretty well. So well that the shapes hardly moved for him, except for the circle. Alright, now for the jumping spider. Let's hope he can get through this. Getting through it nicely. Now for the climb down. Gets through that, well done! How about the pendulum swing? It's down to 30 seconds now. He's definitely not going to clear Stage 1. Can he get past the pendulum swing? No, he will not! He'll miss the jump to the second pendulum altogether. But still a good performance for a peg-legged competitor. Our next newcomer is the third Halo jumper competing, and second one making his debut. Making his debut on the course is the veteran Halo jumper, Atlantic Champ. Some know him as Chumpy. He's already established himself as one of the top competitors in most of the Halo jumping courses, and not just the major ones. Courses such as Ninja Warrior of Halo.
Enough! Atlantic completes Stage 1 for the first time in his career.
Halo Ninja Warrior.
Bounces off that third one, and Chumpy is going back to Stage 3 for the third time in his career.
Spartan Sasuke.
Get up in here, yes, Chumpy's up in 2.
And Irish Warrior, just to name a few.
A little late, but he is fine, and he will kind of stall a little bit going into the buzzer with 13.69 seconds left.
And he also runs his own Halo jumping course, Halo Sasuke.
Hello everybody, welcome to Tournament 16 of Halo Sasuke.
But on Roblox, he's known as... Lol, I'm a scrub. Well, let's see how much of a scrub he is as he attempts a Roblox jumping course for what I think is his first time. At the time of me recording this run, Halo Sasuke didn't exist yet. He's going pretty fast on the 12 timbers. Very impressive. And he gets by that. Yeah, he was in the background during Cheese's live run. Not sure if he's here watching his fellow Halo jumper compete. Anyway, he's doing an interesting technique on the rolling rock. And he gets by it. Well done. How will he do on the Saturn? Still got time. On the ring now. Jumps too early on the hurdle. Misses the ring, and he's out on the Saturn. Now we're on to competitor 31, regular Reed the Shadow. He's making his second appearance on the course. And he also made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the Shapeshifter. One, I believe, 7 competitors to go out on the Shapeshifter last tournament. Anyway, he's past the 12 timbers. Now for Rolling Rock. Getting through that nicely. And he's by it. Now for the Saturn. Onto the ring. He's going to back up. Get some playing space to make the jump. And he's through the Saturn. Now for the Shapeshifter. This is where he went out last tournament. Can he get his revenge on it? Yes, he will. Now for the Jumping Spider. Down to a little over a minute. He's still got time to clear. Catches onto it. Gets to climb up. Now for the walk across. Now for the climb down. And he's through the Jumping Spider. Well done. Definitely a good performance from Reed the Shadow. How about the Pendulum Swing? Gets by that. Alright, warped wall now. This has not caused trouble for many competitors so far. And it's not going to cause problems for Reed. He's onto the Wing Nuts. This has caused problems, so this is potentially the make it or break it obstacle here. Or one of them anyway. It's on to the third wing nut now. Still got 30 seconds. Can he catch on to the Cannonball climb? Yes, he does. Now I gotta get the climb up. And he misses the jump to the third Cannonball, and he's out. Let's look at that again. He tried to jump onto that third Cannonball backwards. In my opinion, that's more risky than simply turning around and facing it before attempting it, since you could still grab onto it, even if you don't get a high enough jump to get on top of it. But because he did it backwards, his only chance was to get a good jump off of that second Cannonball, which he didn't do, so at that point, he was doomed. Oh, he was so close, yet so far. Next up, hidden in the shadows is... Pennywise, the Dancing Clown. No, it's veteran Kyler DeRusso.
What's the difference?
The difference is Kyler cleared stage 1 for his first time in the last tournament and took it a step further by getting to stage 3 and finishing in 4th place. Pennywise can't get 2 rolls on the rolling boulder without doing his dance that spawns more memes than Nicolas Cage with the bees. Anyway, Kyler here is making his 8th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 11 under the name Enderman Yes Squidno 90, where he went out on the Hanging Orbs. He didn't compete again until Tournament 15, where he capitalized the first E in his name and removed the 90 from it. He's been competing in almost every tournament since then, only missing Tournament 19. And up until the last tournament, his personal best was the Jumping Spider in Tournament 16, which he's about to take on again and hopefully beat it for a second time. Trying to prove that it wasn't a fluke last time. Anyway. Doing so well. And he gets past it. Alright. Pendulum Swing. Still got plenty of time left. And he beats that pretty easily. Now for the warped wall. Gets up on his first attempt. For some tend to be Pennywise, he's not letting them clown shoes slow him down, and that makeup isn't really making him sweaty. At least I hope it isn't. Anyway, doing well on the wing nuts. Gets top on the third one, doesn't lose his grip. Alright, Less than 20 seconds. He's still got plenty of time. Oh, gets cut up on that third swing. Now he's really going to have to, he's going to want to send it here. Less than 10 seconds. Quickly touches the Cannonball. And he punches his ticket to stage 2 for the second tournament in a row, clearing with 3.9 seconds left. Up until Wingnuts, he was doing really well. Going at a very fast speed, going at a very quick pace, taking his time on certain jumps, getting up the warp wall in his first attempt, and speeding up the Cannonball climb. And for the second tournament in a row, Kyler is heading to stage 2. He may be dressed as a clown, but he surely didn't perform like one. After that run, he then saw 3 non-veteran runs who all went out on the jumping spider. First was newcomer Grant 4424, who wasn't dressed as a clown and certainly didn't perform like one, but he didn't get a good jump off the trampoline and ended up in the tank. Next was newcomer J. Ozor, who did get a good jump off the trampoline, but went out on the walk section as he undershot one of the jumps. Then it was regular the Miner Boy 10, who was making his 4th appearance on the course, and after avoiding a near disaster on the shapeshifter, he couldn't avoid a disaster by his nemesis from Tournament 20. Next up is transgender competitor Rohai, regular making her 3rd appearance on the course. I do believe she identifies as a she or her, or those were her pronouns. I mean, I haven't been told otherwise, so I'm sticking with that. If I had been told but forgot, I do deeply apologize, and I'll make sure to do better in the future. Anyway, she made her debut in Tournament 18, where she went out on the rope glider. Then on her last official appearance in Tournament 19, she went out on the slippery logs. She hasn't competed since. Well, technically she did in the last tournament, but she was a bonus run. Anyway, neither obstacle she failed on is in this tournament, so we'll see if either that helps, or if she'll get a new nemesis. Anyway, she's already onto the shapeshifter now, so bit of a promising run. Gets past that, and now for the jumping spider. She didn't have trouble with this in Tournament 19. Gets onto it nicely. Down to less than a minute now, still got plenty of time to clear stage 1, but gotta focus on this obstacle here. A bit of a trouble on the drop, but still gets by. Now for the pendulum swing, 50 seconds. On the second pendulum, got that swing. Oop! Has to get swing at the same time, and barely makes the dismount, but now onto the warp wall. Can she get up in 1? No, she cannot. Still got plenty of time. Gets up on her second attempt, just barely. Now for the wing nuts. So no matter what, this is a personal best for her. Well, probably should have said that when she got past the pendulum swing, but anyway. On the second wing nut now. Got that swinging nicely. Now for the third. We saw Enderman have trouble with this, getting cut on that third one. Not a trouble for Rohai. Now can she get up the Cannonball climb? Climbing up it rather slowly, doesn't want to make a mistake, but the klaxon will sound. That's not going to matter, because Rohai is going to clear stage 1 for the first time, getting a bit far away from the button before officially pressing it, with 6.2 seconds left. But it doesn't matter, because Rohai is moving on to stage 2. Near flawless run from beginning to end, only really having trouble throughout the second half of a stage 1, but she still cleared stage 1 with time to spare. I can't exactly say she's the first female competitor in a while to advance to stage 2, since she was technically male at the time she competed. I'm probably going to get canceled just for saying that, but considering this is the last tournament, I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, congratulations Rohai on clearing stage 1. Now emerging from the shadows is the 4th Halo jumper competing, but it's an avatar and name we all recognize. Next up is regular Sakeshi, a well-known jumper in the Halo jumping community as well as the Roblox jumping community. He's making his 4th appearance on this course. He made his debut in Tournament 13, where he went out on the rolling boulder. he achieved his personal best in the following tournament, going out on the bungee bridge. He last competed in Tournament 15, where he achieved his personal worst, going out on Conveyor Hill. While he may not be the best jumper in either community, his determination and dedication to both is why we all like him, or at the very least respect him. Now, after a 6-tournament hiatus, let's see how far he can go. Now, he did qualify to compete in Tournament 17, but unfortunately, he wasn't going to be on during the filming times, so he missed out. Since then, he's failed to qualify in every tournament, even though he still would have been allowed to compete. But for this tournament, he did manage to squeak by qualifiers to guarantee him a spot. I guess he just kind of feels that it's better to earn a spot rather than it one be handed to you. I never really thought of it like that, but yeah, that's the way he works, then I can respect that. Anyway, he's on to Rolling Rock now. Got the technique down, he's past that. Now for the Saturn. This hasn't really caused much trouble for many competitors this tournament. Let's see how Sakeshi will do. Oh, he walked straight up to the hurdle, can't get over, and he's out on the Saturn. But still nice to see Sakeshi competing again, even if it might be the last time. Now we're moving on to regular Dino 4564, making his 5th appearance. He made his debut in Tournament 17, where he was one of the unfortunate victims of the broken cycle. He missed out on Tournament 18, but returned to Tournament 19, where he achieved his personal worst, going out on the Rope Glider. Tournament 20 was his personal best, as he went out on the Wingnuts. Last tournament, he had a rather awkward fail. I won't give it away if you didn't see it or you forgot. But either way, he's getting past Rolling Rock. Had a little struggle at the end, but he's passing now. Now for the Saturn. Can he get by this? Oh, gets too close, doesn't get over the hurdle, and he's out on it. And this dino has become extinct. Now we're on to our next regular, Genji 7 or Genji 7. I don't know, I don't care, and he appears to be wearing overalls, and I'm guessing a rose. And his little, overall pocket. Anyway, this is his second appearance on the course. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the Shapeshifter. So far, this tournament has only taken out 3 competitors. Well, maybe he can get his revenge on it this time. But first, he's got to get past Rolling Rock, but he's doing rather nicely. One of the fastest clears through that obstacle. Now for the Saturn. Hasn't caused much trouble. Will he go out on it? Yes, he will, unfortunately. Couldn't get over the hurdle. From one competitor who made his debut in the last tournament to another, this is Free MMO Direct, who, unlike Genji 7, is a veteran. And the lamps lit up, and he looked like he was going, but then he went back to the start, and now he's going. I don't know what's going on there. He's probably afraid of getting a false start or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. And the last tournament, Free ended up clearing stage 1, and with the fastest time, no less. And he was the only competitor of the last tournament to clear with more than 20 seconds. Interesting fun fact there. Anyway, he's going on to the Saturn. Not quite going in the same pace he did last tournament, but you know, still going a pretty good time. Now he's on to the Shapeshifter. A little all over the place there, but he's past it, and now for the Jumping Spider, down to less than a minute. Gets onto it nicely. Lands on it nice. Ooh, speeds the walk across, gets through that. Quickly gets the drop down, he's past it. Now for the Pendulum Swing. Cameraman got caught by the top there, but he's still going, and he's past the Pendulum Swing. Now for the Warped Wall. Gets up and in 1. Alright. Well, unless he speeds through on the Wing Nuts, he's not going to clear stage 1 with the fastest time. This time around. Or even beat his old time. Oh, he got caught on top of the 3rd Wing Nut, but he's onto it now. Yeah, even though he's not going to get the fastest time, he's still going to clear with a very good time. Speeds up the Cannonball climb, and Free MMO Direct for the 2nd tournament in a row is heading to stage 2, clearing with 15.7 seconds left. And this is for all the bacon hairs out there. Following that, 4 more attempts were made, each with different results. First was regular So Whatever Dude making his 4th appearance. Last time he went out on the Saturn. This time he beat the Saturn, only to later go out on the Jumping Spider, which is where he fell in Tournament 20. Then was newcomer My Messed Up Life, and while his life is supposedly messed up, he himself was even more messed up as he went out on the Saturn. Then it was regular Party Fun 64, who was making his 7th appearance. He missed out on the last tournament, I'm assuming due to him partying too much. And now after returning, he was reminded that it's all fun and games until someone goes out on stage 1, which is exactly what happened to him yet again, this time going out on the pendulum swing. Then newcomer Theodoric put on a show with his outfit alone. But it wasn't the end of that, as he became the 4th newcomer this tournament to punch their ticket to stage 2, clearing stage 1 with 12.5 seconds. We're not even halfway through stage 1, and we have 9 competitors moving on to stage 2. And strange enough, competitor number 1 still holds the fastest time so far, and the only one to clear with green numbers left. Despite that though, the Jumping Spider continues to be a menace to society. And now we're on to competitor number 45, who is the 5th Halo jumper competing, and the 3rd one making his debut.
Hello everybody! It's been a while, but I am back bringing you the landmark 20th tournament of Spartan Sasuke. I am your host, RPG445, and today we have an exciting tournament in store for you.
Making his Roblox jumping debut is the elite jumper and host of Spartan Sasuke, RPG445, aka Rob. Granted that right now on Roblox he goes by Spartan Sasuke, but you know, that's what he wants to go by all means. I don't have much to say regarding his stats as Halo jumper, because then I'd just be repeating myself from the previous jumpers who ran already. Well, let's just see how he does on his first run ever on a Roblox jumping course. Going a little slow in the 12 timbers, realizing how quick that there's no sprint jumping on Roblox. But he does get past the first obstacle, so he's already doing better than how I did on my debut on his course back in Tournament 9. Wink, wink. He's onto the rolling rock now, doing it backwards, and he slips off the rock because it makes the drop, and he's out. We're now moving on to regular Evil Denax, making his 6th appearance on the course. He's been competing in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 17. He's never made it past the Jumping Spider, which is where he failed in Tournament 19 and the last tournament. The earliest he's ever failed on was the Rolling Boulder, which is where he failed in Tournaments 18 and 20. On his debut, he went out on the Broken Cycle, which, as most of us know, has been replaced by the Saturn. Now he's on to the Rolling Boulder's replacement, Rolling Rock. Getting through that very quickly and nicely. Did it sideways. Interesting technique, but it works. Now for the Saturn, over the hurdle. He's never failed in this obstacle, and it's not going to start now. Now for the Shaker, oh, he doesn't regen it. That's a little dangerous. But he still gets by nicely, and he's still got plenty of time. Now he's back onto the Jumping Spider. Can he finally beat this obstacle and achieve a new personal best? Got to climb up nicely. Another one across, and he slips off, and he fails the Jumping Spider for a 3rd time. How unfortunate. And now we're on to veteran Bill X Ben, making his 7th appearance on the course. He's been competing in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 16. He cleared Stage 1 for his first time in the last tournament, where he finished in 18th place. Had a little pause there before proceeding. Anyway, before he cleared Stage 1 in the last tournament, he was an interesting case where he would get one step further on each of his appearances, starting with his earliest fail being the shish kebabs on his debut, to his furthest fail being the Jumping Spider in Tournament 19, not counting his fail on the triple salmon ladder in the last tournament. Although he did take 2 steps backwards in Tournament 20 as he went out on the Rolling Boulder. And And now he's onto the shapeshifter. Gets past that nicely, down to less than a minute. Not going particularly fast, but you know, I don't think he went particularly fast in the last tournament either. And it's time with all the jumps. He does not want his career to end here. And he gets by that. Jump swing. Slow swings across, but he gets by that. Still got plenty of time as he gets to the warp wall. He's going to want to get up in this one too, but he gets up in one. Now for the wing nuts. Unless he starts to slow down here by too much, he should be able to get by this. Of course, there's also the ability of, potential to underarm swing. You know what I mean. Anyways, on to the third one now. He's still got time. The klaxon is going to sound, but he's going to want to get a good swing to catch onto the cannonballs, which he does. Now he's got to climb up a bit fast. Klaxon sounds Bill. He's climbing up it quickly. And Bill and Spin is going to punch his ticket to stage 2 for his second tournament in a row, clearing with just under 1 second left, clearing with the second slowest stage 1 clear time. He wasn't going particularly fast, as he did pause early on in the 12 timbers. Took his time preparing to jump on the jumping spider. But I guess getting up the warped wall in 1 really helped. Otherwise, he most likely would have timed up. But he got through and just barely cleared stage 1 with time left. And he becomes the 10th competitor this tournament to clear stage 1. We have 10 stage 1 clears, and we're on to runner 48. This is newcomer David Von Erich. He was a bonus runner in the last tournament, where he timed up on the warped wall. So that's it. Let's see how he does on his first official appearance. Let's see how the egghead does. You know, because of the egg on his head. Man. Not going particularly fast on the 12 timbers, but still good, going at a pretty nice pace. And he's through it. Through that nicely. Still down to a minute. He's onto the jumping spider. He can still clear, but he may want to get started picking up the pace just a little bit. Climbs up the walk section nicely. Gets the walk section. Ooh, almost bounces off, but he covers and completes the jumping spider. And now for the pendulum swing. A little bit of delay before getting the second one swing, but now he's onto the warped wall. He timed up on this in the last tournament. Well, in this bonus run. Because, bonus run, I don't count those, but you would know that if you saw the bonus run video from last tournament. But he's up in 2 now, down less than 30 seconds. He's onto the wing nuts. He can still clear, but he's going to have to get really good swings on each of these wing nuts. Catches onto the second. And he gets to the third. Gets a good swing. Ooh, he catches onto the top, but he's fine. And he gets flung off the third wing nut. He caught onto the top of the third. He got a good swing, but he landed on top of the third wing nut, but he was still good, and he tried to get off to get it swinging again, then lost his grip. He just bounced right off, and David became so close to being the 5th newcomer this tournament to clear stage 1, but that brief misfortune, that really sucks. Well, now we're moving on to regular Mikey Sleighs. Got like a penguin head, cat ears, and USA onesie. Okay. Anyway, he is making his 3rd appearance on the course. He's been competing in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 20. On his debut, he went out on the 12 timbers, which looks like he's going to get past right now. And then on the last tournament, he went out on the Cannonball climb. He went from going on the first obstacle on his debut to almost clearing stage 1 on his 2nd appearance. Almost joining that club. And there is a competitor ton V101 in the background, obviously cheering him on. Onto Saturn, now easily over the hurdle. And he makes it. Now for the shapeshifter. Getting through that pretty nicely, and he is through it. Still got a lot of time left as he begins his attempt on the jumping spider. Gets onto it nicely. Successfully makes the climb up. Now for the walk across. Climb down, and he's through the jumping spider, and now for the pendulum swing. Different camera angle. Interesting. And that's how the pendulum swing is done. Less than 45 seconds, he takes on the warp wall. Can't get up in one, but he's still got plenty of time. And he gets over the second attempt. Alright, now for the wing nuts. How will we do here? On to the second one now. Makes it to the third. Now he needs a big swing to catch onto the cannonball climb. And he does so. Climbing up nicely. Ooh, doing it sideways jumps. Well, it's that third one at least. But it doesn't matter because Mikey Slays is going to clear stage 1 for the first time as soon as he presses the button. Which he does now. He could have beaten the klaxon if he had pressed it in time. But I guess he wanted to showboat a little bit before punching his ticket to stage 2. "11 stage 1 clears, and we're only now onto competitor 50. This being regular Gaio Phoenix 1102. I don't think I'll ever pronounce that right, so I do apologize. Anyway, he's making his 5th appearance on the course. He technically competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 17, although he became a bonus run in Tournament 18. Even then, he didn't qualify for that tournament, but I digress. He would do pretty well in qualifiers in almost every tournament that held qualifiers, but his success wouldn't carry over to the course. Another interesting thing to know about Gaio, or Gio, sorry if I mispronounce it again, is that he would also be one of those that would go out either on the first obstacle, which he did in tournaments 19 and 20, or on the jumping spider, which he did on his debut and in the last tournament. As I say that, he's on the jumping spider now. Can he finally beat it this time? No, he can't! He had it, but then he lost it. And Gaio Phoenix 1102 is out on the jumping spider for the 3rd time in his career. The 3rd time definitely wasn't the charm. We now begin the second half of the Stage 1 competitors, starting with regular Ryder Lee Angle, who's making his 6th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 15. If he do what a lot of newcomers would do, that's to go out for tacos. He missed Tournament 16, but competed in every tournament since Tournament 17, but become a bonus run in the last tournament. Like Gio, he would do well in qualifiers, so well that he finished in the top 10 in Tournaments 18 and 19. 18 was different, but that's beside the point. But his success in qualifiers wouldn't carry over to the course, as he would go out on the road glider in Tournament 18 and the rolling boulder in Tournament 19. His best performance would come in Tournament 17, as he'd go out on the tire pressure, and being the only competitor to fail that obstacle in that tournament. On his last official appearance in Tournament 20, he'd go out on the Saturn. But he's onto the jumping spider now. Gets up very nicely, and he get through the walk section. Oh, he had to jump to that 3rd step, but then bounced right off. He kind of overshot it. And Ryder is out on the jumping spider. Let's take a small break from all the well-known competitors and move on with a not-so-well-known competitor. This is newcomer, legendary Sasuke YT. Well, I don't know about that. We all know what legendary means, we all know what Sasuke means, and everyone knows what YT stands for. Your toilet. Anyway, not going particularly fast. Had a bit of a slow start getting off the start line, and pretty slow on pace on the 12 timbers, but he gets by now, and now he's onto the rolling rock. There he's doing it forward. Helps him get by, and he's through that. Not going particularly fast, or at least what we've been used to seeing. He's onto the Saturn now, gets over the hurdle, and he's through the Saturn. Now for the shapeshifter. Hesitates before attempting it, but he's on it now. Gets by that nicely. Down to less than a minute, he's onto the jumping spider. He's going to want to pick up the pace if he hopes to clear stage 1. Gets onto it nicely. And the slow climbing up. That's nothing to do. There he goes. Oh, and he's doing the forward jump approach on the walk section. It's not recommended, but it is doable as he just showed. Slowing the climb down. I don't think he's using shift block. Is he on mobile? If he's on mobile and doing so well, that's impressive. It also means you can't use shift lock. And he barely gets by the pendulum swing by that method. And he's down onto the warp wall with less than 25 seconds left. He gets up it in 1. But, oh man, that lack of shift lock is really not going to help him get through the wing nuts. Especially with the clock ticking down. He doesn't have a whole lot of time left. He's down to 13 seconds. He's onto the second wing nut. And he's not swinging these particularly quick. The klaxon sounds, and unfortunately, despite his impressive run, he's going to time up. Can he at least catch on to the cannonball before his time expires? No, his time just expires before he touches that first cannonball in the cannonball climb. He's going to go ahead and climb up the rest of the obstacle and get to the end, but unfortunately, his time expired, and that will count as a time up on the wing nuts. Back to the regulars. This is RW the Gamer, who's dressed like a Twitter user. I know it's called X now, but I'm still going to call it Twitter, especially since it was still called Twitter by the time this tournament was filmed. Anyway, he's making his third appearance on the course, going quickly through the 12 timbers. He made his debut in Tournament 19, going out on the rope glider. In his last official appearance in Tournament 20, he'd go out on the rolling boulder, neither of which are on this course, so maybe he has a chance to do better. Especially since he's making great work of the rolling rock, which he gets by. So this is a new personal best for him. Last tournament he did run, but he was a bonus run. Anyways, through the Saturn, and now for the shapeshifter, going really fast on the course. It's probably one of the fastest runs we've seen. Barely gets by the shapeshifter, but he's onto the jumping spider now. Gets onto it quickly. He's going for speed. Gets through the walk section. And kind of takes the time with the jumps there. Oh, he gets caught by one of the barriers while climbing down, and he bounces off the drop section and is out on the jumping spider. Our next competitor is in the shadows and is a well-respected member of the community. Now on the start line is veteran MisterrCoolio 02. He's making his 8th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 5 under the name MisterrCoolio 4. In his first 2 appearances, he wouldn't clear stage 1, but he'd get pretty far, going out on the danger climb on his debut, and then the Tarzan ropes in Tournament 6. In Tournament 7, he changed his name to the Wizard's Dude. With that change came his change in luck, as he cleared stages 1 and 2. He'd get very far on stage 3, but he would unfortunately go out on the final obstacle, the truss slider. After that proved to be his personal best, he would go back to reality, as he would go out on the reverse jump hang in Tournament 8, miss Tournament 9, and then go out on the step pillar in Tournament 10, achieving his personal worst. He wouldn't compete again until Tournament 20, when he changed his name again to MisterrCoolio. His return wouldn't be so grand, as he would go out on the Saturn. And then in the last tournament, he not only got his long overdue revenge on Stage 1, but he would remain undefeated in Stage 2. And he would fail to achieve a new personal best on Stage 3 and the course in general, as he would then go out on the first obstacle, Cubic Chaos. Now he's back under a different name, but the same determination to go all the way. Let's see if he can do that. Now this is actually his alt account, which also competed in Tournament 5, and it would go out on the ramp jumps. At the time of the recording of this tournament, this became his new main account because his previous main account apparently got hacked. He used to run his own jumping course on Roblox called NWoR Warrior. Actually, I think it's still going on, but with a somewhat different name, but I'm not sure. Either way, I imagine it could have been a bit difficult to have to use a different account to continue hosting his course. Having had my old account hacked sometime after this tournament was filmed, I can relate. Different story for another time for those who are in the dark. Anyway, Braver is now onto the jumping spire with more than a minute left. Quickly onto it. He's clearly going for speed. Almost undershoots the jump from the walk section of the jumping spider, but he gets by now. Less than a minute now, as he's onto the pendulum swing. Oh, a bit of lag, but still gets by the first swing, and passes second, now for the warped wall. And he gets up and in one! He has a chance to achieve the new fastest stage 1 clear time, but he's gonna have to speed through on these wing nuts. After a bit of a slowdown on that first one, I don't think he's gonna get it, and I don't think he's gonna achieve his... after getting caught on by that third wing nut, he's definitely not gonna achieve the fastest now, but can he at least achieve the second fastest? Catches onto the Cannonball climb. Going up pretty quickly up it. Still gonna clear with under 20 seconds, but he's still gonna punch his ticket to stage 2 with the second fastest stage 1 clear time of exactly 17 seconds. And for the second term in a row, Coolio has cleared stage 1. First time in his career where he's cleared stage 1 in back-to-back tournaments. Now we're moving on to newcomer Gem_RBLX. Or I guess Gem Roblox, and I'm sure some people are tired of me referring to it as RBLX, which is just short for Roblox. Any dang way, let's see how she does. Best run so far, 10 out of 10. Yep, wait about 10 seconds before getting ready to go. Lights flashing for her. Anyway, she gets to move on now. Steady pace on the 12 timbers. Not too quick, but not too slow either. Though considering that she took too long to get started, her chance of clearing stage 1 are very slim. Anyway, she's on to Rolling Rock now. Let's see how she does here. Got it rolling nicely. She got the technique down. Jumped on it twice, but she's not continuing to jump on it. You gotta continue to do it. No shorter goes up the track. And now it's starting to roll backwards. Well, at least she hangs on to it, but now she's got to really start jumping in order to get it moving again. Okay. Little by little, she's down to less than 30 seconds, so she's not going to clear stage 1. Can she at least get past Rolling Rock before her time expires? Gotta keep jumping at the right spot. There it goes. She's got it rolling now. She's got to keep this up. Less than 20 seconds. Slowly but surely, it's still going up. She's not giving up. Collapsing sounds. She's so close to the edge of the track there. And she gets past the Rolling Rock, and she's going to turn up on Saturn unless she falls. Nope, she knows that her time expires just as she gets onto the ring. And she gets over to her the Saturn, but gets past it, but it doesn't matter because her time has already expired. Now awaiting at the start line is Halo Jumper number 6, who's another course host and making his debut on Roblox. It is Kyle FSMF. Better known as Crown Ferret 19 on Halo, but all of us in the Halo jumping community just call him Irish, mainly because that's what he was back in the old days of Ninja Warrior of Halo. Or making his return, I believe, around this year, maybe a couple years ago before this tournament, I don't remember. Anyway, he's making his debut on the course, and I like to say this is the first course on Roblox he jumped, or he maybe done him before. Now, around the time of this tournament, he was on and off on Roblox and helping out with another Roblox course before it eventually died off. He's also the right-hand man from the Apex of Game show hosted by Alex Cunningham, and also hosted Sasuke Nitro. Nowadays, he's mostly on Halo and runs his own course called Irish Ninja Warrior, though he himself is not Irish. And he gets past the 12 timbers very slowly, so he's only down to less than a minute, and he's just past the halfway point on Rolling Rock. So not going particularly fast, but he's doing a lot better than most of the... Well, forget what I was about to say, because he undershoots the dismount of Rolling Rock, attempting the dismount before it got to the red tracks. Following that, 5 more competitors took to the course. First was newcomer Kai's Abe underscore guy, who showed off his trucker style and likely got struck by it as he crashed on the Saturn. Then it was newcomer Johnny Jack 1008, who I believe was part of the Wipeout community. In any case, after struggling on the warped wall, he eventually got up and then got wiped out on the wingnuts. Newcomer Stirred Fried Beans was next, and he used his explosive speed to get through the course, especially on the warped wall. But it didn't do much after that when he lost his grip on the first wingnut. Regular Duckmaster 11211 was up then, and he did achieve a new personal best by getting past the 12 timbers, which took him out in the last tournament, only to later go out on the Saturn. Then finally was newcomer Espion Eclipse. Yes, that's how he spelled it. Don't know if that was intentional. Anyway, he went out on the rolling rock by forgetting that he needed to dismount it before it began rolling backwards. That's now 61 runs on Stage 1, and we have 12 that are moving on to Stage 2. The Saturn has now really begun to start biting back at the competitors, as well as the other Stage 1 killers like the Jumping Spider and Wingnuts. But now we move on to our next veteran, who's looking to be that lucky clear number 13. Waiting within the shadowy dome, it is our next veteran. It is Bryce_Bry, making his 6th appearance. Yeah, it was intended to hide the figure, but one thing I didn't intend on was that it doesn't hide their username, which, you know, kind of slightly defeats the purpose of, hiding their appearance until they make their entrance. So, yeah, I just kind of use a little mild blurry effect, but anyway. Bryce_Bry, making his 6th appearance. Made his debut in Tournament 17 as Bryce_Bry 1. Cleared Stage 1. He changed his name to what it is now in Tournament 19. He's cleared Stage 1 in every tournament he's competed in since his debut, except in the last tournament where he fell on the Saturn. But he's gotten over the hurdle, he's beaten it now, so he at least got his revenge on that. And the 4 times he's made to Stage 2, he's failed the Triple Salmon Ladder 3 of those 4 times, with his personal best coming in Tournament 18, where he failed the peg jump. Onto the Jumping Spider now and going for speed here, and he slips up on that second to last step of the walk section of the Jumping Spider, and for the second tournament in a row, Bryce has fallen on Stage 1. Now we're moving on to newcomer Destiny of Gods. He ran in the last tournament as Virus the Validator, changed his name to Destiny of Gods now. I don't know why I'm having to paint him as a regular when he's really a newcomer. I don't know, I guess I just kind of felt like maybe he ran a previous tournament, but he had a different name that I was unaware of. I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna say he's a newcomer who... Point is, in the last tournament he was a bonus run by the name of Virus the Validator, and now here he is, a Destiny of Gods. Why I'm pointing that out, I don't know. Maybe it's because that's what he was, not only in the last tournament, maybe during the qualifiers. I don't know. Anyway, he's onto the Shapeshifter now, going at a very fast pace. Interesting dismount. Phase through, and now for the Jumping Spider. He's clearly going for the fastest time. Not sure if he'll get it, especially since he's going a bit slowly on Jumping Spider. Because he just didn't want run to end there, but he gets past it. Now for the Pendulum Swing. Gets by that nicely. Now for the Warped Wall. Can he get this in one? Yes, he will. Now for the Wingnuts. It doesn't look like he's going to clear with the fastest time, but he has a shot to getting the second fastest. So onto the second Wingnut. Ooh, got a big cut on the second, but he still makes the transition to the third one. Now he's got to get a good swing onto the Cannonball Climb, which he does. Climbing up it nicely and quickly. And Destiny is going to clear the first stage, and he gets the new second fastest Stage 1 clear time at the moment, beating Braver's time by 0.2 seconds. And he is now our 5th newcomer this tournament to punch his ticket to Stage 2. 63 runs down, 37 runs to go. we have 13 competitors moving on to Stage 2, which now ties the Tournament 18 Stage 1 clear count. Could we possibly see a new all-time Stage 1 clear count in a single tournament? We would need to double the current amount for that to happen. Let's see how this next batch of competitors do. Now on the start line is a competitor we haven't seen in a while. It is veteran Spectre _ of Communism, making his 7th appearance on the course. He last competed in Tournament 19, where he returned after taking a 2-year break from Roblox and cleared Stage 1 for the 2nd time in his career. He first competed in Tournament 6 under the name Weatherboy1102, and he cleared Stage 1 for his first time in Tournament 7. What a shocker. He had been competing on and off since then, kind of like he is right now. He ended up changing his name to what it is right now in Tournament 19. It was the last time he competed and cleared Stage 1. You didn't know it already. If you did know that, that means you weren't paying attention. Get your ears cleared. Or cleaned. Well, yeah, you don't need a clear. You don't get yours cleared. Spectre's got to clear. Stage 1. Anyway, on the Shapeshifter, bit of a kind of insane approach on the triangle there, but he's past it. And now for the Jumping Spire. Still got more than a minute left. Goes right for it, catches onto it, climbs up nicely, now for walk across, and he doesn't get a jump off that ledge on the walk section, and slips off the Jumping Spider. Next up is a well-known member of the Ninja Warrior community, Commentator. Regular making his 3rd appearance on the course. He made his debut all the way back in Tournament 20, where he went out on the spinning rings. Last tournament, he went out on the Saturn. Hoping to do better this time around, especially with this being the final tournament. Gets past the 12 timbers nicely. Didn't have him thrown before in his debut or in the last tournament, so no reason they shouldn't have problem this tournament, despite them being lightly buffed. I digress. Easily gets past Rolling Rock. Now for the Saturn, this took him out last tournament, can he get by it this time? Takes a step back, but he manages to get over the hurdle and clear the obstacle, and now for the Shapeshifter. Gets through that nicely, so no matter what, this is a personal best. Yep, that spinning ring took him out in his debut, and the Shapeshifter replaced him, so yep, personal best for you. Had a little trouble climbing up this. Ooh, almost saw that jump there, and that one, but easily gets to climb down. He's through the Jumping Spider. Well done. Still got time left. He takes on the Pendulum Swing. And he's through that. Now for the Warped Wall. Can he handle this? Now getting out of his first go. He's going to want to get about this attack if he wants a chance of clearing Stage 1. He does not. I don't think he's going to have enough time now, but can he at least beat the Warped Wall? Can't get up on his 3rd attempt. Can he get up on his 4th attempt? Yes, he will. He's only down to 20 seconds now. He's not going to have enough time to clear Stage 1, but can he at least get through the Wing Nuts? This has caused trouble. On to the 2nd one now. License sounds. Catches onto the 3rd. Can he at least catch onto the Cannonball climb? No, he cannot. He will undershoot the transition to it. Didn't get a good enough swing. Even he had caught it, he still would have timed up, but still a great effort from Commentator regardless. And now we're on to regular Cambu 6. That doesn't sound familiar, it's because he's a regular who first made his debut in Tournament 14. And he's not going. There he goes. Bit of a late start. But yeah, he's making his 2nd appearance on the course. A bit of a jittery on that long on 12 timbers. Anyway, making his 2nd appearance on the course. Made his debut all the way back in Tournament 14, where he went out on the Rolling Boulder. He hasn't competed since then. I don't know if he gets competing in this tournament because word got out that this would be the final tournament, or just for old time's sake. Or both. Anyways, on to Rolling right now. Interesting technique. Now they're jumping, and he slips off the front of the boulder just before he reaches the end point. Once again, goes out on the 2nd obstacle. From one competitor who made his debut in Tournament 14 to another, this is Ninja Warrior 11111111, making his 5th appearance on the course. On his debut, went out on Conveyor Hill. He's competed in every tournament since then, getting one step further each time, up until Tournament 16. He hasn't competed since then, up until the last tournament, where he went out on the obstacle he just went out here. And he's the first competitor to this tournament to go out on the 12 timbers. Kind of a shame it happened to him of all people, but we're bound to get a 12 timbers fail sooner or later. Now we're moving on to newcomer Talk the MJNW BW Fan 5, or also known as Jake the Talking King, or just Talking King. He's Halo Jumper number 7. I guess, in this case, former Halo Jumper. I mean, at the time of this tournament, he was still in the Halo Jumping community, or at least getting started with it. I don't recall the reason why he stopped competing in tournaments, but that's what it is nowadays. I mean, he's still kind of active, at least in the Halo community, but he just doesn't really compete anymore. In fact, I don't even think he competes on Roblox jumping courses anymore. Well, anyway, not going particularly fast on this course. He's already on to Rolling Rock and already used up more than 30 seconds of his time. Almost slips off the edge of the Rolling Rock, but he gets past it. Now for the Saturn. Can he get by this? He's only down to a minute. He's not going to have enough time to clear stage 1, but... well, let's just see how far he can go. Gets past Saturn, now for the Shapeshifter. Can he get past this? No, he will not. He will slip off the triangle. Didn't do much to save himself. But honestly, that was not a bad attempt. And now for that magic number everyone was looking for. Runner number 69 for this tournament. Though the competitor in general isn't really ideal, it's just Vince Jr. Plays. He's making his second appearance on the course. He's formerly known as Vince Jr. Vlogs _YT, as it was when he made his debut in the last tournament. Got past the 12 Timbers, that's where he went out last time. So now we're gonna see how far he gets now. I mean, it's a personal best regardless. And screw it, we're just gonna fast forward to the Shapeshifter for no particular reason. On the square, on the triangle, now on the circle, just barely undershoots the dismount, and we just witnessed back-to-back fails on the Shapeshifter. Next up is regular Smiley, making his third appearance on the course. He made his debut all the way back in Tournament 10 under the name Marshmallow Muffins, and he went out on the Hanging Orbs, which was the second obstacle of that tournament. Last time he competed was back in Tournament 12 after missing out on Tournament 11, and he changed his name to Caterpillar with the second L capitalized for some reason. Anyway, in that tournament, he achieved a new personal best by getting to the Jumping Spider. Now he's on to Rolling Rock, which replaces the Hanging Orbs. I mean, whatever. Anyway, he gets by that, now for the Saturn. So now he is 10 tournaments later, competing in the final tournament. How will he do? Again, I'm just not sure if he just didn't feel like competing more, if he took a break from Roblox, or just forgot about the course in general, but then someone brought up, hey, it's the final tournament, maybe you should come compete. Whatever. On to the Jumping Spider now. This is what took him out in the last tournament. He went out on the version that was introduced in Tournament 12, which was the easiest version in my opinion. But he gets by on the much more difficult version, and now for the Pendulum Swing. Still got time to clear. Gets a big hop on that first pillar, but he's or Pendulum, and he gets by that. Now for the Warped Wall. Gets on his first attempt. Well done on his Smiley's return to the course. He's doing really well. He's so close to clearing stage 1, assuming he doesn't assuming and hoping he doesn't make a mistake on the wing nuts. Took a bit of time to get through the first one, but he does. Now for the second. Gets a good swing off at that and catches on to the third. Can he catch on to the cannonballs? Needing an extra swing. Gets onto it. He's onto the cannonball climb. Taking his time, but he can afford to do so. Oh, he stopped, paused on the third one. But he gets by the klaxon sound, but it doesn't matter because Smiley, on his return to the course, clears the first stage with 8.4 seconds left. I don't have a whole lot to say. He wasn't the fastest, but he certainly wasn't the slowest. He did get caught briefly on that first pendulum, and paused for a few seconds on the third cannonball with the cannonball climb, maybe to readjust his camera, but he got up and punched his ticket to stage 2. He went from being a marshmallow-flavored muffin to a caterpillar, and waited 10 tournaments to evolve into a butterfly. A smiley butterfly. Bad jokes aside, he's back with a vengeance. Well done. Then afterwards, another 5 competitors had their shot on the course. First was regular Cartez, making their first appearance since Tournament 15 and second overall. And while he did better this time around than he did last time, he would end up going out on the Saturn. Not by failing to get over the hurdle, as he did get over it, but by going for the dismount too early. Second was newcomer A Random Box. I can clearly see the random, Box not so much. Anyway, he wouldn't live up to his monkey business, as he couldn't catch onto the glass panels of the jumping spider. Third was regular Cyan Dude 858, making his 6th appearance on the course. This time around, he decided not to go out on either the first obstacle or the jumping spider like he did in the last tournament, but rather the rolling rock. Fourth was newcomer Little Nemo 5, dressed like a gentleman, and the Saturn decided not to treat him like a gentleman by preventing him from getting over the hurdle. And fifth was newcomer the Gnome 88, who had wings that allowed him to get through the first 4 obstacles, but not so much on the jumping spider. So that's now 75 attempts on the course, and 48 of them have either gone out on the jumping spider or before that. And of the 27 who did get past the jumping spider, 14 of them have managed to clear stage 1. But there are still 25 competitors left to run this course. And we move on to competitor 76, who is the 12th veteran to run. Making his 11th appearance on the course is veteran Skyline James. He made his debut in Tournament 9, and during the 10 times he competed before, he's had mixed results on the course, 3 of which he would go out on the first obstacle. Before clearing stage 1 for his first time on the course, in Tournament 16, he had never gotten past the 5th obstacle. In the following tournament, he would prove that him clearing stage 1 would not be a one-time thing, but he unfortunately couldn't repeat what he did in Tournament 16, where he achieved his personal best by saving himself multiple times on the triple salmon ladder. But because he can't make that jump, no! He's beat this obstacle. He does it! He finally is on to the last set of bars, gets to the top, and he's beaten the triple salmon ladder before his time expired on the metal spin. And he has run out of time. On his last official appearance in Tournament 18, he would become one of the 15 to go out on the new spinning rings. He hasn't appeared again since then. Until now. He technically appeared in the last tournament as a bonus run. You should know by now that I don't count those as official appearances. Anyway, on his debut, he just had all the letters in his name lowercase. He didn't capitalize the first S, and the L, and the J in his name until Tournament 15. Another thing about Skylight James is, not only did he submit the beam trenches, to be used in Tournament 18 and so on, he also used to host his own Roblox course called NWoR Roblox. It's essentially the same name as mine, but just removed the up. Anyway, since then he not only canceled it, he also removed those videos from his channel. So unfortunately, that's considered lost media. I don't even think he's active on Roblox or YouTube anymore these days, but I digress. Down to less than a minute, he's onto the jumping spider. He has failed this before, but whoa! Bit of a lap, but he managed to get up, and get the walk across, taking it slowly, and now for the climb down, and he gets past it. For the pendulum swing, he's still got time to clear, but he might want to pick up the pace a bit. Oh, he suffered another bit of lag. He seems to be getting by, and he's past the pendulum swing. Time for the warped wall. Can he get up this in one go? Hard to say. It looks like he did. More lag, down to 30 seconds. He's still got time to clear. Let's hope the lag doesn't hurt him on the wing nuts. He barely catches onto the second. Now just gotta get a good swing onto the third one. Can he do so? Yes, he does. Now just gotta get one last good swing onto the cannonball climb. And he does not. He undershoots the transition. He has fallen. So close, but he will not be heading to the second stage for the third time in his career. From one double-digit appearance veteran to another, this is Ninjas for the Win 64, making his 12th appearance. He made his debut in Tournament 7 under the name Rotting Chris. He's competed in almost every tournament since his debut, missing Tournaments 8, 11, 18, and 19. In every tournament he competed as Rotting Chris, he fell on the first obstacle, which he's beaten out. He's beaten again now. He did so again on his first appearance as Ninjas for the Win 64 in Tournament 12. The first time he didn't fail the first obstacle was in Tournament 13, which is also the only time he cleared Stage 1, and the first competitor of that tournament to do so. And he's fallen on the dismount of the Saturn, my goodness! He did the hard part, which is getting over the hurdle, but then on the dismount, he was obviously going for the running jump technique, but just couldn't get a jump off. It's nothing new, but it's just kind of shocking for someone like him to go out this way. Next up is the only competitor competing with the former star rank. It is Superior Okami, once known as Brian Maurer. He's making his 15th appearance on the course. He was one of the 15 competitors to compete in the very first tournament. He's been competing in every tournament since then up until Tournament 12. He cleared Stage 1 in his first 3 appearances and even made it to the final stage in Tournament 3. He was one of the many following that tournament to be promoted to All-Star. But he hasn't had much success on this course since that promotion, only beating Stage 1 once. That being Tournament 6, and only coming close in Tournament 4. Since then, he would only get as far as the jumping spider. And he's not doing the right technique on the rolling rock, he's got to keep jumping on it. He'll just now realizing it's rolling backwards. Can he get it moving forward again? Yes, he does. That's certainly going to cost him some time. Yeah, he disappeared from the course after failing the jumping spider in Tournament 12, but returned him in Tournament 16 with the name he has now, and with the former star rank. He's been being on and off since then, with his last appearance being Tournament 20, as he was especially invited for that tournament, and he's fallen in the shapeshifter. He's not going to get another chance at the jumping spider. He didn't have the best run as he struggled on the rolling rock, not knowing what to do as you have to keep jumping on it to get it rolling up the track. But he quickly figured it out and got it rolling up the track, but it did cost him quite a bit of time. But on the shapeshifter here, it looks like he might have just slightly overshot with the jump to the circle as he bounced off of it as it was tilting backwards. While it's nice to see Superior Okami not fail the first obstacle again, this is still a somewhat shocking fail. Taking a break from the well-known competitors, onto another well-known competitor who wasn't so well-known by this point, is newcomer Beastie Blade 101, the owner of Arcade Island X, or Arcade Island 10. I don't know, I don't care. Let's just see how he does on this course. Before this tournament aired, he was one of the lucky that won the drawing to get a special number for this tournament, or for those who tried to cheat during the Tournament 22 qualifiers. You can call them qualifiers. Anyway, and not going particularly fast on this course. He's onto the rolling rock. Not sure how good he was at the time of this recording, or if he's still around, if he's much improved these days, but anyway, he's onto the Saturn now. Gets over the hurdle, and does what Ninjas does, and fails to get a jump off the ring on the Saturn to dismount it. Now we're on to newcomer Professor Skittles. I guess Professor underscore Skittles. I should stop counting the underscore because technically they're only spaced out there because they actually wanted to make space in their name, but you can't do that when changing your name in Roblox, or at least at the time, so you had to put an underscore. Anyway, went really quickly through the 12 timbers, and now for the rolling rock. Professor Skittles. Wonder if anyone's created a rumor that this dude was composed of the Skittles from the Skittle scraps after they were discontinued after Tournament 7. Probably not, but it's a fun little conspiracy theory, if I do say so myself. Past the Saturn now with plenty of time left. Now for the shapeshifter. Definitely not the fastest pace, but definitely one of the fastest through his course so far. Taking a few shortcuts on the jumping spider. Does pause a bit to catch onto it, quickly climbs up it, quickly getting to walk across, Almost undershoots him. Getting onto that final peg on the climb down, but it passed that. And now for the pendulum swing. Very nicely done through that. Now for the warped wall. Can he get up in some one attempt? He will not. So he's definitely not going to have the fastest time, but should still hopefully clear with more than 10 seconds left, provided he gets good swings on these wing nuts. On to the second one now. 30 seconds. Gets to the third. Now can he get a good swing to catch onto the cannonball? Yes, he does! A really good swing! And Professor Skittles is going to clear the first stage with the 6th fastest time currently. Just 0.2 seconds slower than Zequio, but 0.1 second faster than Free. And not only is he currently the 6th fastest stage 1 clear, but he's also the 6th newcomer this tournament to advance to stage 2. Well done, Professor! We are now officially 4/5 done with stage 1. We still have a chance to see a new stage 1 clear record. We just need 11 more to tie, and 12 to achieve that new record. And with some of the best yet to run, it's definitely possible. Kicking off the remaining 20 badge of competitors is regular Frosty Mantle, making her 3rd appearance on the course. She made her debut in Tournament 19 as Abstract Time, and was the only newcomer and female competitor to be included in the American NWoR Vault special. She changed her name to Frosty Mantle in the last tournament. In both her previous 2 appearances, she's fallen on the first obstacle. Seems to be getting through it nicely, and she's beaten the first obstacle this time. It was 3rd time's the charm. And I know there's also a certain former competitor who would poke fun at Frosty failing the first obstacle on her debut. Not going to say who it is, even though I'm fairly certain that it was just more of a teasing among friends rather than anything malicious. So, yeah. I guess we can all get a laugh out of it at the end. Ooh, almost undershot the jump to the triangle on the shapeshifter, but he got by. And this name sounds familiar, she also finished in 1st place on the short-lived Robloxian Ninja Challenge. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. But anyway, she's on to the jumping spire. She undershoots that jump on the walk section. She's out, but still a really good run nonetheless. Next up is veteran Leaf Stones, making his 4th appearance on the course. He's been competing in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 19. On his debut, he went out on the jumping spider. And in Tournament 20, he took a step backwards by going out on the rolling boulder. And unlike Frosty Mantle, well, I guess in a way, 3rd time's the charm on achieving a new personal best, but unlike Frosty, who went on the jumping spider, Leaf Stones actually cleared the first stage on his 3rd appearance in the last tournament. Makes great work of the rolling rock, going at a very solid pace. On for the Saturn now. Has no trouble with that at all. And gets the dismount. Now for the shapeshifter. Crazy on the triangle, but still gets by nicely. Still got plenty of time left. Definitely one of the fastest pace we've seen so far. Could he be possibly challenging the new top time? Probably not. Just doesn't want to make clearing stage 1 less than a one-time thing. Or just clearing stage 1 again. You know what I'm trying to say. Alright, pendulum swing. Gets through that quickly and nicely. Now for the warped wall. Barely gets up on his 1st attempt. Now for the wing nuts. On the 2nd one now. He is challenging the top time. Could he get it? I have to kind of dismount here. On the cannonball climb. And he is not going to get the top time, unfortunately for him. But he is going to get the 2nd top time. And become the 2nd competitor of this tournament to clear with more than 20 seconds left, clearing with exactly 21 seconds left. 3 seconds slower than TechBot, but nevertheless, he's moving on to stage 2 for 2nd tournament in a row. Following Leaf's success, 2 more veterans took to the course, but both were far less successful. First was DogsRock67, making his 7th appearance. He at least got his revenge on the Saturn for taking him out in the last 2 tournaments, but was then put down by the Shapeshifter almost immediately after briefly saving himself on the circle. Up then was Yellow Mailbox, who made it to Stage 3 in the last tournament. But this time, on his 8th appearance, he couldn't get over the hurdle on the Saturn and mailed himself to the water. That is now 16 clears. Let's hopefully add to that, starting with regular Asame Shime. I once again apologize if I mispronounced it. He's regular, making his 7th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 10 under the name John the Great 8000, where he went out on the Hanging Orbs. He had been competing on and off since then, and on his next 3 appearances, he would go out on the first obstacle, which he's already passed. He's now been competing in every tournament since Tournament 19, and throughout his career on the course, he's never gotten further than the 3rd obstacle, which is his personal best that he achieved last tournament. And it looks like he's going to beat it now, which he does, so there's a new personal best for him, but, you know, he wants to do better, especially with this being the last tournament. He wants to, end it on a high note. Hopefully with Stage 1 clear. Jumping Spider catches onto it, down to minute, climbs up nicely, now for the walk across. Gets through that, climb down, and he's through the Jumping Spider, well done. Now for the Pendulum Swing, handling that with no trouble, and he's through it. Now for the Warped Wall. Gets up on his first attempt, well done, he's still got plenty of time left. Now for the Wing Nuts. Gotta get good swings on these. Oh, he's not using, Shift Block to help swing them. That's usually the preferred way to do this, but it does help him catch onto the second Wing Nut. And the third. Now he just gotta get a good swing onto the Cannonball climb. And he does not. I like the technique he was going for to jump forward and grab the Cannonball rather than trying to land on top of it, but he didn't get a good enough swing from that 3rd Wing Nut and undershot the transition. But it was still a great attempt from Asame nonetheless. We're now moving on to regular McMasterCrafter, making his 2nd appearance. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the Shapeshifter. He wants to do better this time around. Let's see if he can do so. Late to start, but he's going. He gets onto it. Ooh! Not so easy over the hurdle, but still interesting regardless. Now for Shapeshifter. No trouble for him there. So there's a new personal best. He conquers Nemesis. Now for the Jumping Spider. Catches on for it. He's going really quick through this obstacle. Now for the climb down. And he undershoots the dismount. Oh, we don't see that very often, but unfortunately it happened to McMasterCrafter, and he was going really fast through the course and doing very well. And unfortunate that it had to end this way. From one regular who made their debut in the last tournament to another, this is Roblox Polished Player 4. I am not one to judge that outfit. Anyway, unlike a McMasterCrafter who went out on the Shapeshifter last tournament, Roblox Polished Player 4 went out on the Saturn. And it looks like he's going to have his second chance at it. As he gets through Rolling Rock. Gets onto the ring. Oh my goodness! Oh, that was unfortunate. He gets beaten by the Saturn for his 2nd tournament in a row. But man, he was so close to getting over that hurdle. Let's take another quick look at it. He jumped just a little too late, and because of that, he got the climbing animation when he grabbed to the top of the hurdle. He still could have gotten over it, but he instead tried to jump over it while he was still grabbing it, which caused him to bounce back, and at that point, it was too late to try a second jump. Next up is newcomer Adair, who I believe is a female. I apologize if I mispronounced the name and or misgendered him. Anyway, let's see how this competitor does. Through that. Alright, now for the Warped Wall. Gets up in one attempt. Well done. Oh, catches on the top of the Wing Nut. Got drop it down nicely. I just gotta get a good swing, which she does not. Undershoots the transition to the second wing nut. Next up is veteran, it's Akko, formerly known as Akko Milanovic. Ah, that's quite a tongue twister. Anyway, he's back making his third appearance on the course. Made his debut in Tournament 20, where he went out on the wing nuts. Last tournament, he cleared Stage 1. And he's through the jumping spider, now for the pendulum swing. Oh, he's suffering from a bit of lag. Makes it look like he's kind of floating through the pendulum swing, but he gets by and gets up the warped wall in one attempt. Now for the wing nuts. And he did better than Aldair did. Going for the technique that Asami did, but yeah, it's more time consuming, but he's got plenty of time to be able to do so. He's clearly not going for a top time, just wants to get through this stage. And catches onto the cannonball climb, climbing up it nicely, and Akko is going to head to the second stage for second term in a row, clearing with 12.9 seconds left. And he's got a nice little welcoming committee congratulating him. We now have 17 Stage 1 clears. There's still hope for that new Stage 1 clear record, but that will require 10 of the remaining 11 competitors to clear Stage 1. But it is possible. And of note, we started to see the shapeshifter do some damage to the competitors. Hopefully these remaining 11 competitors won't meet the same fate. Next up on the start line is newcomer I'm just gonna call him Pan, because that's quite a tongue twister, and I doubt many people are gonna be able to pronounce that quickly or whatever. Anyway, gets caught on the triangle for a bit. Doesn't rush to dismount the circle, is through that. Now for the jumping spider. Gets onto it, climbs up nicely. How about the walk across? Bounces off that block, and he's out on the jumping spider. Next up is regular Muffin Power 1, 2, 3, 4, making their second appearance. Made their debut in the last tournament, where I don't recall if this happened in the last tournament, but there they go. Now they got started. And going not quick on the 12 timbers. Anyways, I was trying to say, I don't recall if it's a male or a female competitor, but either way, they made their debut in the last tournament, where they went out on the jumping spider. And they have almost no chance of clearing Stage 1 now. And it's not doing the right technique on the rolling rock, but still managed to get to the very end without need to jump on it. Kind of amazes me. Onto the Saturn now, gets onto the ring, gets over the hurdle, and clears the Saturn. Alright, now for the shapeshifter. Can they get past this? No, they will undershoot the jump to the triangle. How this competitor got a high number heading into this tournament is beyond me. Now we're moving on to regular 2005 Cheeseburger, who many of you know him better today as Bookcase. He's making his 7th appearance on the course. He's competed in almost every tournament since his debut in Tournament 15, only missing Tournament 20. Now, despite him being a top competitor in other courses, he's never beaten Stage 1 on this course, and has had mixed results throughout his NWoR Roblox career. He's only come close to defeating Stage 1 twice. First time was in Tournament 16, second time was in the last tournament. He's on to the Saturn now, and he's through that. Alright. I don't think he's one of those competitors who's well known for going fast, but Devin knows he's got to be fast if he wants to get through this course. Well, maybe not that fast, but he's onto the jumping spider now. Can he get through this? Oh, having struggled to climb down, and he slips off! He's going for the climb down, but got caught by that top peg, and just dropped right to the bottom and fell off. Next up is veteran Kalen F., formerly known as Sonic_DJs, or I guess just Sonic DJs. Whatever. He's back making his 13th appearance. Ooh, didn't feel comfortable on jumping forward to that third lob, so he stepped back and repositioned himself, and he made the jump. Anyway, he's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 10, where he was originally named Sonic DJ 58A. He didn't start clearing Stage 1 until he changed his name to the Sonic DJs in Tournament 13. And his personal best came in Tournament 14 when he reached Stage 3 for his first and currently only time. He changed his name again to Sonic_DJs, where he then stopped clearing Stage 1 until the last tournament, where he finally cleared Stage 1, but went out on Stage 2. He must have realized his previous name was cursed, so he changed it to what it is now. Hopefully he'll have better luck this time, or with this new name. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Lucky number 13, maybe he'll get a new personal best if he's lucky. Well, he's onto the pendulum swing now, and he's got plenty of time. Ooh, bit of a lag spike on the jump to that second pendulum, but he's through the obstacle, and now for the warped wall. Gets up on his first attempt. Still got 33 seconds now as he takes on the wing nuts. Can he get by these? Gets a good swing onto the second one. Bit of a cut. Gets an extra swing to get onto the third one. 20 seconds left. Got plenty of time. Another cut. Catches onto the cannonball climb. Now he just gotta climb up these. On the second. I'm gonna get on the third. No, he slipped off the second! Kalen's on the cannonball climb! His nemesis from Tournament 18 comes back to bite him on the final tournament. Oh, that is heartbreaking. He was climbing up these cannonballs slowly. As you can see on the second cannonball there, he was positioning himself to make the jump to the third. But as he was going for a running jump, he just couldn't get the jump off and slipped off the second cannonball. That is a heartbreaking way to go out on Stage 1. Well, now we must move on to our final newcomer running this tournament, Batman Wing 123. I mean, he did appear in the last tournament as a bonus run, but now he is making his first official appearance on the course. Alright, starting with the 12 timbers, going very fast. Still got 50 seconds left and he's already past the warped wall. Or, onto the warped wall. He just barely gets it. It looked like he didn't get him on his first attempt, but he just barely beat the stopper. 40 seconds now as he takes on the wing nuts. He's aiming for the top time. He doesn't want TechBot to be the holder of that top time. He got cut by the third wing nut, so he's not going to get that top time, unfortunately. But can he at least finish with the second fastest time? He will, just barely. Clears with 21.3 seconds left, and he is now the 7th newcomer this tournament to be advancing to Stage 2. He's also the 3rd competitor to clear with more than 20 seconds left. Most of his run was pretty laggy, but it didn't really seem to be affecting him. Probably more on the camera. But anyway, he was going for speed. And on the warped wall there, it looked like he wasn't going to get up on his first attempt, but he just barely beat the stopper. And he experienced a brief cut on that third wing nut. And because of that, he wasn't going to achieve the top time. If that hadn't happened, probably would have just barely gotten it. But it doesn't matter because Batman Wing 123 is moving on to Stage 2. Now on the start line is the final regular competing in this tournament, Rocket's Glare, formerly known as Andrastical. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the Saturn. And unlike Batman Wing, who technically competed in the last tournament as a bonus run, Andra's run, whatever you want to call him, was official last tournament. So here he is, again making his second appearance. He went out on the Saturn on his debut. Don't recall if I already said that or not. Whatever. Anyway, well, so far he's living up to his new name. He's speeding through the course like a rocket. Yeah, I know, bad joke is a bad joke. But he's conquered the Saturn, so this is a new personal best for him. But just like everyone else who achieves a new personal best on Stage 1, or just the course in general, they want to do better. Onto the jumping spider now. I think it's the fastest pace we've seen any competitor. Well, definitely one of them. Speeding through the jumping spider. Well done. Now for the pendulum swing. Can you get past this? Less than a minute. Only needs one swing on those pendulums and he's through it. Now for the warped wall. Gets up on his first attempt. Well done. Now for the wing nuts. Yep, quite a second appearance. Got a really good swing on the first wing nut. It's on the second. Who did get caught, but he still makes the jump to the third. And gets a great swing onto the cannonball climb. Climbs up now. He's still got 30 seconds left. And Rocket's Glare is going to achieve the new fastest time of stage 1, clearing with 28.3 seconds left. Went from failing the Saturn on his debut to clearing stage 1 on his second appearance. And he does so with currently the fastest time. Well, this is the first time this tournament we've seen back-to-back clears since runners 15 and 16, which were Ton V 101 and the American Roblox Kid respectively. And as you can already guess, we will not have a new Stage 1 clear record this tournament, unfortunately, even if the 5 remaining competitors all clear Stage 1. At best, we would get a record for the second most Stage 1 clears, currently held by both tournaments 3 and 17. So let's see if we can achieve that new record by moving on to our next competitor, which is the last veteran competing on Stage 1 this tournament, NASCAR Zoom 44, who's making his second appearance on the course. Like Batman Wing and Andrastical, aka Rocket's Glare, he made his debut in the last tournament, where he cleared Stage 1 and made it to Stage 3, and was unfortunately the first victim of the new obstacle Stage 3 at that point. So yeah, the final three, final newcomer made debut in last tournament. Well, not technically, whatever. And then we had a regular who made his debut in last tournament, got a high number. And now we have the last veteran who's also got a high number and made his debut in last tournament. Coincidence? Well, it's kind of the results on the qualifiers, but I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So yeah, we started out with Batman Wing, who cleared Stage 1. And of course we had Rockets there, also cleared Stage 1. But now it would be great if NASCAR Zoom could join them. Have a newcomer, regular, veteran. All who competed in the last tournament, except Batman Wing. Bonus, whatever. Now I'm just babbling. That's kind of what you gotta do when you don't have much else to say. The fact that NASCAR Zoom isn't going as fast in the stage as he did in the last tournament, I don't think. And he slips off the jumping spider. Couldn't get a jump off that brick, and he's out on Stage 1. Now on to the final 4 competitors of this tournament. They are the All-Stars of Ninja Warrior of Roblox, the best of the best on this course. There have been many stars on this course throughout the years, new and rising, and while a majority of them have come and gone, they will have left their name forever etched on the course. Through thick and thin, we have 4 All-Stars remaining. 2 of these All-Stars have stuck around since the very beginning, while the other 2 have been running this course for a long time as well, but have only been promoted to the ranks of the All-Star not too long ago. And kicking off the All-Star runs is Clever Ninjas, formerly known as Kyle Ninja 3970, who's making his 22nd appearance on the course. He is the only competitor to have competed in every single tournament. He's been around since the very beginning. He's essentially the Shingo Yamamoto of Ninja Warrior Roblox. So despite his all-star status, the last time he cleared Stage 1 was back in Tournament 17, the final tournament of the old terrain era. The new terrain era hasn't been kind to him, as he failed the rope glider in Tournament 18, then he failed the jumping spider back-to-back in Tournaments 19 and 20, though in the last tournament he did achieve his new personal best in the new terrain era by timing up on the warped wall. Now for the Saturn, he shouldn't have trouble with this. Almost of getting it over hurdle, but he did, and he's past it. And of course, he did have his ups and downs throughout the years, even before an All-Star, as he did, fail Stage 1 in his debut. And then, of course, he became the second competitor, I believe, to clear Stage 1 for 4 consecutive tournaments, before shockingly going out in Tournament 6. He was the only All-Star in Tournament 5 to clear Stage 1. Had a bit of a struggle to get the pendulum swing going, but he's onto it now. He's doing the forward technique rather than the side jump technique that a lot of players done. Anyway, he's down onto the warp wall now. He tightened up in the last tournament, and he just barely gets up on his first attempt. He has a chance to clear Stage 1 now. He's just got to get good swings on these wing nuts. This has caused troubles to even some of the fastest and the best competitors. He got a good swing on the first one onto the second. He's not doing the shift lock technique, but whatever works, I guess. 20 seconds, he's still got time to clear, but he's got to get a really good swing on this third wing nut. Oh, he gets caught. But he catches onto that bomb cannonball, and he's clearing out, and he bumps his head on the third one! Clever Ninja was so close to clearing Stage 1 for the first and only time in the new terrain era, but he falls off the cannonball climb. He really did not need to rush this obstacle, and he was doing the backwards technique, which does help save time, but you gotta get a really good jump off that second one, or else you won't catch on to the third cannonball. But if you look here, he went a little bit too far to the edge of the second cannonball and bumped his head onto the side of the third cannonball and got knocked off the obstacle. Oh, he was so close to clearing Stage 1, but Clever Ninja suffers his 16th Stage 1 defeat. Oh, you just hate to see it. But that's the way it is. Next up, we have our newest All-Star. Joining the ranks of the All-Star is Daniel Ice Wolf Roblox, making his 16th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 6, and during his first 9 appearances, he competed under the name Ice Wolf Boy 63. If you had told me back then that he would one day become an all-star on this course, I probably wouldn't believe you, because on his first 10 appearances, he wouldn't get any further than the Jumping Spider. Despite him hosting his own course at the time, Ice Wolf Warrior, his jumping skills wouldn't show. Though on his landmark 10th appearance in Tournament 16, he'd change his name to what it is now. It wasn't until Tournament 17 when he'd get his breakthrough on this course, as he would finally clear Stage 1 and take it a step further by clearing Stage 2. On the new terrain era, he's 3 for 4 on Stage 1, going out on the spinning rings in Tournament 18, but clearing Stage 1 in the past 3 tournaments. And he's 2 for 3 on Stage 2, going out on the tri-rope maze in Tournament 19, but clearing Stage 2 in back-to-back tournaments, the past 2 tournaments. And in the last tournament, he would achieve a new personal best, going out on the ladder in between the swing circle and limited ascent. And because of his latest and consistent success, he has been promoted to an all-star. Now let's see if he's deserving of that rank in this final tournament. Daniel, wearing the number 1998. And his time has started, and off he goes. Going pretty quickly through the 12 timbers. Not the fastest pace, but a very reasonable pace, and he's through it. Now for the rolling rock. Yeah, I don't recall when he stopped hosting his course. I think he stopped hosting around the time this tournament came out, but I'm not too sure. It was most likely before that. Anyway, he's through the setter now. Now for the shapeshifter. He did fail its predecessor, spinning rings, of tournament 18, but he's through it again. Hasn't had much trouble for him since then. I mean, you probably know if you watched the past few tournaments. Anyway, jumping spider has been his nemesis before, but not gonna claim him this time. Now for the pendulum swing. Okay, if Daniel clears, he'll be the next competitor to clear stage 1 for 4 consecutive tournaments. And he's on pace of doing that. He's up the warped wall. I highly doubt he's gonna get the fastest time on stage 1, but I don't think that's on his mind right now. He just wants to clear this stage and get back to stage 2. Took quite many swings on that first wing nut, but as long as it helps him get by, that's all that matters to them. Alright, he's on that third wing nut now. And he catches onto the cannonball climb. Climbing up it nicely. And Daniel is going to clear the first stage after doing a little showboating and clear with 13.9 seconds left. And Daniel is now the 8th competitor to clear stage 1 for 4 consecutive tournaments. Stage 1 was no trouble for him. He got through the obstacles with no trouble at all. Wasn't going at the fastest pace, but it didn't matter because all that mattered to him was getting past the first stage. And even had a little time to do a little showboating, intentional or not. But regardless, Daniel is not only the 8th competitor to clear stage 1 for 4 consecutive tournaments, he's also the first all-star of this tournament to advance to stage 2, and is now the 20th competitor to clear stage 1 for this tournament. Well done, Daniel. Before we continue with the second to last run on stage 1, let's take a look at this tournament's competitiveness. We've seen many shocking fails this tournament, only a handful really standing out. But for this tournament, I'm going to give the honor to DogsRock67. He briefly saved himself on the circle of the shapeshifter when he slightly overshot the jump to it, but then he tried to recover by jumping onto the top of the circle when it flipped backwards. And by doing so, it knocked him off and he fell into the water, making that save meaningless. It just goes to show that by starting with circle 1, you'll have to go back to square 1. Next up is the speed demon of Ninja Warrior of Roblox, Aussie Bro, making his 21st appearance on the course. He's one of the first 15 competitors to ever compete on this course, and he's been competing in almost every tournament since then, missing only tournament 8. He was the second ever competitor to clear stage 1 for 5 consecutive tournaments, the first being Firippu. And he was also the first ever competitor to keep that streak going to 8. Now he's out looking for blood, because in the last 2 tournaments, the course has bitten him back. As the streak would break in tournament 20, as he'd fall on the jumping spider, and in the last tournament he'd go out on the wing nuts. Another fun fact about Aussie is that he tends to go fast on this course. Most competitors who tend to go fast on these kind of courses don't work well, as they usually make a mistake. Whoa, what a drop on the drop section of the jumping spider. And as I was trying to say, usually competitors who go fast on this course don't tend to do well, as they tend to make a mistake and go out earlier than they like. But Aussie is one of the few who actually makes it work. And it's showing here as he's going fast. Of course on the wingnuts here, which he did fail in the last tournament. And another fun fact about Aussie is that he's never failed stage 1 for 3 consecutive tournaments. And it doesn't look like it's going to start today. I hope it didn't jinx that. It didn't. He's beating the Cannonball guy, and Aussie Bro is back! The Speed Demon has cleared the first stage for the first time since Tournament 19. And a surprise to absolutely no one, he cleared stage 1 with the fastest time. And so far, the only competitor to do it with more than 30 seconds left, clearing with 30 and a half. And he's going to do his little Aussie dance to celebrate. And I can continue to talk about how Aussie Bro is back and moving on to stage 2. Like I said, he tends to go fast, and he's one of the few who can do it and not make a mistake. While that definitely seemed to backfire in the last 2 tournaments, this time around it did not, and Aussie Bro will keep the title of Speed Demon for at least another tournament longer, and we'd love to see him keep the success going heading into stage 2. Welcome back, Aussie Bro! Before we move on to the final run of Stage 1, let's find out what is this stage's
Roblox Explorer.
With each new tournament of the new terrain era, we see more total attempts on the jumping spider. And while we don't see as many fails on it these days, it still takes out more competitors than most other obstacles in this era, including this tournament. As of the 64 who have attempted it, 25 have gone out on it. This now marks the 4th time the jumping spider wins the Stage 1 Ninja Killer Reward. And now we move on to this tournament's Mr. 100, wearing the number 2000, making him the 2000th competitor to attempt this course. The last ever attempt on Stage 1 is an epic Reshiram, making his 15th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 7 under the name Mutant Reshiram 47. Much like Daniel, not many people expected that he would one day become an all-star, as he would never get further than the 5th obstacle of Stage 1 on his first 6 appearances. It wouldn't be until Tournament 13 when he would finally become a veteran, as he cleared Stage 1 for his only time in the old terrain. Since then, he's only gotten close to clearing Stage 1 for a second time in 3 of his next 4 appearances. But this star finally began to shine in Tournament 19 as he would clear Stage 1 for a second time as one of the 10 American Ninja Warrior Roblox competitors, and finished that tournament in 1st place. In the last 2 tournaments, he would prove that him getting to Stage 3 would not be a one-time thing, as he would achieve a new personal best each time. But in the last tournament, where he was officially named an All-Star, he did the unthinkable. He would clear Stage 3, becoming the first competitor in 7 tournaments to reach the final stage. But on the final stage, Despite him slipping up halfway up the orb climb, he still managed to reach the top of the tower with little time left. But he unfortunately missed pressing the final button, timing up just when victory was in his grasp. Nevertheless, he still got further than any competitor has ever gotten in this era, and he wants nothing less than another attempt at that tower. Let's hope that an epic can get back there, but first he's got to get through the first 3 stages, starting with stage 1. He changed his name to an epic restroom in Tournament 9, and has kept it that ever since. Going kind of in a slow approach on the 12 timbers, but he can afford to do that. Yeah, if he clears, not only will he be the 9th competitor to clear stage 1 for 4 consecutive tournaments, but I'll also set a record for the 3rd most stage 1 clears. Or I guess maybe 4th most? It's a little confusing since 3 and 17 are tied for 2nd. Anyway, getting through the Saturn, now for the shapeshifter. No trouble at all. Kind of hesitate on the circle a bit. He's down to less than a minute. Definitely not going to get the fastest time, but, you know, just like Daniel, that's not on his mind right now. Gets up the jumping spider nicely. Ooh, doing the 4-part in the jump and walk across. Getting close there. Now for the climb down. He falls off! And Epic is out! What just happened? He was going for the climb down, but he slipped off! I don't know if he panicked, or just temporarily forgot what to do, but he tried to go straight to the bottom of the drop section, but he did so by walking toward the right. While that is a way to do it, it's not recommended, and it costs an Epic one last trip to stage 2. And an Epic restroom has failed the jumping spider for the first time since Tournament 14. Oh, that is heartbreaking. He will not get a second chance at the final stage. And with that disappointing end, we've now seen Stage 1 be attempted for the last time. 100 competitors have stepped up to compete in what will be the final tournament of NWoR Roblox. And as a surprise, when the dust has settled, we've now tied the Stage 1 clear count from the last tournament. Of the 21 competitors who cleared Stage 1 last tournament, only 7 of them have managed to clear Stage 1 again in this tournament. 13 of the other 14 are new to the Stage 1 clear count. Now these 21 Stage 1 survivors will advance to the more difficult Stage 2. Left standing are 7 newcomers, 6 regulars, 6 veterans, and 2 all-stars. While Stage 1 was more of a test of speed and concentration, Stage 2 will add to that test with precision and timing. With the exception of this new background set, not much is different on this stage than in the last tournament. The triple salmon ladder has been redesigned to look more appealing. Other than that, only 2 major changes have been made to this stage. First off, 5 seconds have been taken off the timer, so now the competitors will have just 80 seconds to complete this stage, as opposed to 85 from the last tournament. And the old ruling of the wall split has returned, where the competitors will need to push both sides of each wall. But if they ignore that rule, or forget about it, for each wall they pass without pushing both sides will result in a 5-second penalty. And of the 21 competitors attempting this stage, 13 of them will be attempting it for their first time. Here we go. The competitors are ready to go, so let's kick off the second stage. Kicking off this stage is the first competitor to clear Stage 1 of the tournament, Tech Bot. No matter what, he did really well in the qualifiers, and so he was allowed to choose his number, and he chose to be number 1 for the tournament. I mean, you argue that he probably had the inspiration from others, or the recommendation of others, but he still had the final choice in the matter. Anyway, got past a cannonball drop. Handling triple salmon ladder with no problem, and he gets through it. Now for the duo rope maze. I'm a bit caught on it, but now he's got it going. Catches onto the second rope. It looks like he was going to lose his grip, but he didn't. And he's now past that. Now for the beam trenches. Get by this. On the second set. Third set. Down less than 40 seconds. And he's past the beam trenches. Now for the collapsing steps. Second step. And he loses his footing on the second step and falls off. Next is the first regular to clear stage 1 this tournament. Zakadu 2010. Most of you know him better as Flamosaurus on Halo. Kinda moonwalking. There's probably a little lag there. Anyway, finally clear stage 1. It's not often you see a Halo jumper clear stage 1 on a Roblox course. At least those who were Halo jumpers at the time this tournament was recorded. And we'll struggle to get the cannonball drop going, but gets past it now. Now for the triple salmon ladder. Can he handle this? Doing a bit of the wiggle technique. Helped him get through the first set, but he slips off the bottom rung of the second set and couldn't catch on to the very bottom rung, and he's out on the triple salmon ladder. But props for getting this far. Next up is regular Tunvi 101. He just proved on his third appearance that it was 3rd time's the charm for him. Went from getting no further than the Saturn to clearing stage 1. And he ended up clearing stage 1 with the slowest time. Not that that really matters, because at the end of the day, he's here on stage 2. Ooh, a bit shaky on the cannonball drop there. Kind of stuck on the second track, but he's past it. I guess one of the such of times to clear stage 1, I never got to say for Zakadu's run, but of all, he also cleared stage 1 with the klaxon sounding, but of all the competitors to clear stage 1 with the klaxon sounding, Zakadu was the fastest of those competitors. That's definitely an impressive feat, especially for a competitor who doesn't really compete on these Roblox courses, especially today. So that's something. Not sure much about Tunvi, at least in regards of his status as a Roblox jumper. I'm not sure if he still competes regularly. Feel free to let me know in the comments and maybe the chat. He's down in less than 30 seconds. He's on the collapsing steps. He's not going at a very fast pace. He's taking his time on preparing for the collapsing steps, but he gets past them, so that, but he's only down to 20 seconds. He's got the speed rush for the rest of this obstacle. He's taking his time preparing to jump for the cable circuit. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get through the rest of stage 2. He's on to the second set now, but he's only down to 10 seconds. He just clears the cable circuit, and unless he were to muscle his way through the wall split, he's going to time up. Well, he's got to time up anyway because he's only using one side, but even then, he still wouldn't have enough time to clear stage 2. Which is unfortunate, but Tunvi was going way too slow throughout stage 2, and his time has expired. Next up is newcomer, the American Roblox Kid, who cleared stage 1 almost immediately after Tunvi did. We had back-to-back stage 1 clears, the first time in this tournament. Anyway, let's see how he does on stage 2. Hopefully we don't get back-to-back time-ups near the wall split, or on the wall split. And again, I got a bouncy start on the cannonball drop, but managed to speed way through the rest of it. Triple salmon ladder. He turns to face each jump. It's wise. Ooh, but fails to catch on to the third set. Can he do it a second time? No, he will not. Still got down to me. He's still got time to clear, but now he's caught on to the third set. Ooh, just barely catches onto the rope of the duo rope maze. That would have been an embarrassing way to fail this obstacle. Anyway, through the first maze. You know, despite those two slip-ups, he's still going at a slightly faster pace than Tunvi. He's onto the beam trenches now. Speeding his way through it. Well done. And he now gets past the beam trenches. Now for the collapsing stab. He does not hesitate. He's going right for it. Gets past it. It's going to be a close finish if he can get past the cable circuit. Down to 20 seconds. Oh, and he was bit too soon on the transition and just missed the jump to the second set, and he's out on the cable circuit. So close, yet so far. Moving on now, we're on to Zequio 124. Not much to say regarding this, just that, he cleared with half a second, or not half a second. Yeah, half a second slower than, American Roblox Kid. And the cameraman falls to the water, and gets a close-up on Zequio's beautiful hair. Oh, wait. Alright. Anyway, moving on, he's onto the triple salmon ladder now. Bit of a lag, but still say wasn't enough of it. Gets onto the third set the second time, and now he's onto the duo rope maze. Getting his way through that with no problem at all. Speeding his way through it. He saw how much time Tunvi and American Roblox Kid had at this point, and got there a bit faster than them. Onto the beam trenches. Still pretty laggy beforehand, but it doesn't seem to really be hurting him. ZQ. Gets past the beam trenches now. Still got over 30 seconds left, so he attempts the collapsing steps. Gets past those, and now for the cable circuit. Barely catches onto the first set. Went nicely. Catches onto the second set. 20 seconds now. Clears the cable circuit. He should have more than enough time to get through the wall split. But he's got to remember, he's got to push both walls. He does on the first set of walls. And now to the second. Only pushes one side of the third wall, but he still clears stage 2 with 3.8 seconds left. So despite the 5-second penalty, Zequio is the first competitor of this tournament, moving on to stage 3. After that, our first veteran to clear stage 1 this tournament was up, and while Caladarusa was pretty slow on stage 1, on stage 2, he decided to be a bit more serious with his run, and cleared for his second time in a row, just barely missing out on beating the Clax. But now we have back-to-back clears on stage 2 this tournament. Well done, Pennywise. I mean Kyler DeRusso. Man, I always get those two confused. Well, Kyler's enthusiasm sure is astounding. Well, anyway, that's now 2 clears in stage 2 out of the 6 who've ran so far. But there's still 15 left to go. So let's move on to the next competitor who's attempting stage 2 for their first time, and it is Rohai. Say hi to stage 2, please. Let's see how Rohai does. 80 seconds. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say, because these are mainly competitors consisting of those who had never attempted stage 2 ever on NWoR Roblox. Anyway, gets through the Cannonball drop. It got a little shaky near the end. Anyway, now onto the triple salmon ladder. Oop, missed the first catch, but still catches onto the bottom set, just barely. Well, actually the top of the first set, but anyway. Catches onto it at the top this time, and it's past the triple salmon ladder. Now for the duo rope maze. Hopefully I don't jinx it, but we haven't seen many fails on the triple salmon ladder. I mean, yeah, there was Zakadu, unfortunately, who failed at it, but other people have kind of struggled on it. But anyway, other than that, yeah. Well, it took about time to get through the duo rope maze, so I'm not sure if Aurora's gonna have enough time to clear stage 2. But she skips the third jump and goes straight for the fourth one and misses it, and is the first victim of the beam trenches this tournament. Next up is our second veteran attending the second stage of this tournament. It is Free MMO Direct, making his second appearance on stage 2. Well, that first reached a stage in the last tournament, which was his debut, and he did it with the fastest time on stage 1. Although in this tournament, he cleared stage 1 with nowhere near the fastest time, and slow start, but then quick get through on the Cannonball drop. Anyways, onto the triple salmon ladder. This is where he went out last tournament. Did the sideways for the transitions, but it worked, and he's passed the triple salmon ladder. So this is a new personal best for free. I keep saving them all betters, but they definitely want to do better this time around. Kind of a smooth transition to the second rope on the duo rope maze, and quickly past that. I think this is the fastest pace so far on stage 2. And we're onto the beam trenches now. Skipping steps, and it doesn't work for the jump to the third trench on the second set, and we now have back-to-back fails on the beam trenches. Next up is newcomer Theodoric. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, he was one of those who cleared with just over 10 seconds left, but out of those competitors, he was the slowest of those who beat stage 1 with, beat the klaxon. You know what I'm trying to say. At least I hope you do. On the cannonball drop, struggling to get it moving. There he goes. Kinda gotta get a good push. Oh, got it in the first drop. And still gets by. Lost a bit of time during that. Those two, whatever, so you can make up by perfect run on the triple salmon ladder. I was trying to say after he got caught in those 2 times on the cannonball drop, he can still make up for that. Now that he's gonna get caught up on the duo rope maze here, which kind of did on the first maze. Sort of on the second maze. There's the wrong side, but he's past it. He's still got time to clear, but he might want to think about picking up the pace a bit. But anyway, he's onto the beam trenches now, on the second set, and he looked like he made the jump to the second trench on the second set, but somehow lost his footing and slipped up. Now it's the start of day 2, and kicking off the start of day 2 is veteran Bill X Ben, who's a little shy to get onto the start line. But anyway, he's making his second appearance on stage 2. He first reached the stage for his first time in the last tournament, where he went out on the triple salmon ladder. This tournament he's back, and did it with the second slowest time on stage 1. Only 0.2 seconds faster than Tunvi. Anyway, he's on the triple salmon ladder now. Can he get his revenge on it? And there's also where Free went out, but just like Free, he's past it. So there's a new personal best for Bill, but wants to do better. Will it translate to... Whoa! A little crazy on dismounting the rope. Got a little bit Tarzan-like. Maybe not. Anyway, he's about to do a rope maze. Now for the beam trenches. Oh, he's also going to skip steps. It's paying off for him. And I probably jinxed it because he fails to transition to the final jump. Well, second to last jump. Bottom line, that's the 4th consecutive fail on the beam trenches. Next up is regular Mikey Slays. And even though he slayed stage 1 this tournament, he couldn't quite slay the buzzer, or I guess the klaxon. He cleared just a few seconds slower than Zakadu. So I guess he was the second fastest of those who cleared with the klaxon sounding. I don't know the best way to say it. Anyway, he's past the cannonball drop. Now for the triple salmon ladder. Having no trouble with it. Easily up it, and he's past that. Now for the duo rope maze. He's caught up on the rope a bit, but he gets himself untangled and struggling a bit to get it moving. I think he's found a technique. Makes the jump to the second rope. And he's now past the dual rope maze. Now for the beam trenches. Can he finally break the streak of those who failed it? Or will we get 5 consecutive fails on it? He's going to take the slow approach and not skip steps. And that works for him. Even though he's down to 30 seconds. Oh, he ends up losing his footing on the collapsing sets just before I'm about to say he still has time to clear stage 2. He made the same mistake TechBot did. Next up is our next veteran, BraverCoolio 02, previously known as MisterrCoolio. Just now on this account since his main was apparently hacked or something like that. Anyway, this is his 3rd appearance on stage 2. Kind of a little whack, but this is now his 2nd straight appearance on this stage. Last tournament he did reach the stage where he cleared stage 2. And a little struggle to get the cotton ball rolling, and gets caught on that first drop. Yeah, going down it slowly, but now he's gonna may want to pick up the pace here. Yeah, he's on the triple salmon ladder now. But, oop, it's the jump to the final set. Gets up at this time. Now he's definitely gonna want to pick up the pace. I didn't want to really say anything, but he's one of the few competitors who have never failed this stage. Or he could be the only one for all I know. For those who go more than twice, whatever. I mean, he first reached the stage in Tournament 7, where he was previously known as the Wizards Dude. And he did clear up Stage 2 that tournament. Just like he did in the last tournament. So I guess the stage is wondering will be third time's the charm to wipe him out. Well, he's down to 23 seconds. He's picking up the pace now. It's going to be a close finish, but he's onto the cable circuit. Ooh, getting through that very quickly, and he's past it. Now for the wall split. He's still got time to clear. He's got to remember to push both walls. He does. Pushes them nicely. Barely moves that right side on the second wall, so it counts. And BubbaAce 02 is going to be 3 for 3 on Stage 2 as he punches his ticket to Stage 3 with 5.3 seconds left. It's the slowest clear Stage 2 so far, but it doesn't matter because he's moving on to Stage 3 for his third time. Alright, we now have 3 competitors moving on to Stage 3, out of possible 12. There's still 10 competitors left to go, so let's continue Stage 2 with our next competitor, Destiny of Gods. Obviously making his first appearance in Stage 2. And he was one of those competitors who cleared with less than 20 seconds left, and out of that batch, he was the fastest of those who cleared with less than 20 seconds. Alright, and anyway, it's on the triple salmon ladder. Pretty flawless on that, and now for the duo rope maze. You do that nicely. Easily onto the second rope. And then the second maze now. Gotta get caught up on that rope there. Now gets on by, and he's through the duo rope maze, now for the beam trenches. Yeah, he's not gonna skip steps like some previous players were doing, and majority of them pretty much failed. Not all of them. But he's through the beam trenches, and now for the collapsing steps. Through that nicely. Well done. Now the cable circuit. Still got plenty of time. So he can afford to take his time preparing these jumps. Almost undershoots the jump to that second set in the cable circuit, but he's through it, and now for the wall split. Through the first set. Oh, and he goes by to push that second set because he doesn't want to take a 5-second penalty. Still couldn't beat the klaxon, but he still cleared with 8.8 seconds left, and he will be moving on to Stage 3 for his first time. Just like that, we once again have back-to-back clears on Stage 2. That's now 4 competitors moving on to Stage 3, with 9 competitors left to go. And we're not stopping with the Stage 2 newbies anytime soon. I mean, we kind of are, but this next competitor is a Stage 2 newbie. And it is Smiley, regular, previously known as Caterpillar, all the way back in Tournament 12. Yeah, you should know the story by now if you saw his run. Or just don't remember. You should still remember. Whatever. He's on stage 2 now. Whoa! Wow, right down the Cannonball climb. It actually kind of dismounted from the... or detached from the trap, but he still managed to hang on. And... and then there he just recovered from triple salmon ladder. He missed the second set, but caught on to the very bottom rung. And he's past the triple salmon ladder and onto the duo rope maze. So that's definitely something to smile about, is that 2 close calls there. And he's past them. Alright, he's on to the second maze of the dual rope maze. He gets kind of caught in that rope. Not going particularly fast. He was doing so well up until the dual rope maze where it seemed to slow him down. He's finally past the dual rope maze, but he's only down to about 30 seconds now. He's on the beam trenches. He's getting through those nicely, not going at a very fast pace and skimming jumping. At least he's getting through the obstacle. And he's past it, but he's only down to 20 seconds. He's not going to have enough time to clear. Doesn't hesitate to do the collapsing steps. Yeah, this is even a slower pace than Tunvi. He's on the cable circuit now, but now he's only down to 10 seconds. Almost undershoots the jump to the second set of the cable circuit. And he just beats it, but he's going to run out of time on the wall split. And he's only going to push one side of the wall because he figures that he's going to run out of time anyway. Just go ahead and get through. His time is up, but man, after those close saves, I was hoping that he'd get through still. But alas, he times up on stage 2, and that's definitely nothing to smile about. Next up is a competitor sure to teach us a thing or two about running stage 2 on Roblox courses. It is Professor Skittles. Or maybe that he's a, never mind. Anyway, here he is hoping to school this stage. Yeah, the bad puns aren't stopping anytime soon. Gets past the Cannonball drop. Now for the triple salmon ladder. Handling it nicely. And he's through. Now for the dual rope maze. Going much faster on this one than, Smiley, and I think this is the fastest anyone's gone through the dual rope maze. My goodness! Yeah, he did that really quickly. Just a little over 10 seconds. Maybe 15, I don't know. Haven't even keep track, just... yeah, he's speeding through this. Maybe, I can't say this is the fastest pace so far. Maybe it is, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's on to the cable circuit now. Still got over 30 seconds left. Yeah, this is definitely the fastest pace on stage 2 so far. Just barely gets a dismount. Now for the wall split. Still got 20 seconds, pushing both walls. And he has schooled this stage, and he's hoping to continue schooling this course as he'll advance to stage 3 for his first time. And so far he clears with the fastest time in stage 2, 16.2 seconds. Well done, Professor. So that's now the first competitor this tournament to beat the Klaxon in stage 2, and he's the 5th competitor to advance to stage 3. Let's hope our next veteran can join those 5. It is Leaf Stones, who, like Kyler, Free, and Bill, is making his second appearance on this stage. Leaf also reached this stage in the last tournament, just like Bill, Free, and Kyler. Although he failed the Cannonball drop, which he's struggling to get moving now. Oh, gets a little wobbly near the end, but he beats the Cannonball drop, so this is a personal best, just like the others. With the exception of Kyler, who made it to stage 3, we get to see that, and as I say all that, Leaf's following the triple salmon ladder, slimming up the bottom rung of the second set. Now on the course is our next veteran, who first reached this stage in the last tournament. It's Akko. Huh. I kind of wonder if he did that on purpose. It changed to is, so I could say, so it's that. Anyway, in the last tournament, when he first reached this stage, he failed the collapsing steps. All the veterans up to this point have achieved a new personal best, so no reason to think that Akko can't. Makes quick work of the triple salmon ladder. Now for the duo rope maze. A little wild on the ropes there. And he fails the dual rope maze. Oh my goodness, what just happened there? It looks like he was going to go for the jump to the second rope, but I'm not sure if he just simply thought he jumped a little too soon and wasn't going to make it and tried to back up. But no matter what, the first rope started to pull back, and there was no way he could catch onto it to recover, and has failed to do a rope maze in a way I've never seen before. Well, that's unfortunate for Akko, but we must keep going. Starting with the last newcomer to take on Stage 2. Batman Wing 123. Kinda lost my train of thought there about the whole newcomer thing. Anyway, let's see how he does. 80 seconds. Yeah, a bit slow going down the Cannonball drop, but then quickly speeds up and he's through. Now for the triple simulator, making easy work of that, and quick work of it. Missed the first jump onto the top rung, but gets it. And now for the dual rope maze. Making quick and easy work of that. Gets a bonus swing, didn't want to make an unnecessary transition. Let alone make the same mistake that Akko did. But he threw the dual rope maze, and on the beam trenches, not skipping steps. He's got more than enough time to clear, and doesn't want... I don't think he's aiming for the fastest time, but just wants to get past the stage. Or he could just be doing it, aiming for the top time unintentionally, if that even makes sense. Whoa! Oh, crazy turn on the cable circuit, but he gets by the first set. And second one was a little more nice to him. He still got 20 seconds as he attempts the wall split. He pushed that second one backwards, that counts! So he moves, so he doesn't get a 5-second penalty for that. But he also fails to beat the klaxon, but it doesn't matter because Batman Wing 123 is moving on to Stage 3 with currently the second fastest time, just barely beating Kyler's time by 0.1 second. Let's take another look at those few points. First, the Cannonball drop started off slow, but quickly picked up speed halfway through, but he held on. Then he got a very big swing on the first rope of the duo rope maze, and instead of dismounting it right away, he instead waited for it to be steady, which was a wise move. And then on the cable circuit, that first cable started spinning rapidly. I guess he was too strong for his own good, but he still managed to hang on and transition to the second cable at the right time. And I guess I can also point out that on that first wall-to-wall split, the right side was pushed backwards, but it still moved by being pushed, so he wasn't penalized for it. But even if it did count as a penalty, he still had time to clear. So he's now the fourth and final newcomer this tournament to advance to Stage 3. Welcome to the club, Batman Wing 123, or I guess Bat for short. Now we're moving on to the final regular to run Stage 2 this tournament, and the competitor who cleared with the second fastest time, Rocket's Glare, who nowadays is known as Andrastical. Anyway, that's what he was, previously. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and skip ahead to the beam trenches, where he was going at the fastest pace so far, and quite frankly, it was just kind of the same, where he was speeding through the, triple simulator and the duo rope maze, and, you know, I just figured, well, let's just go ahead and keep the pace going. Considering that he's only down to 30 seconds and just got past the cable circuit, so unless he fails to push both walls, he's going to clear Stage 2 with the fastest time. And of course he's going to do it the way it's intended, and clears with 19.6 seconds left. Would he clear just over 20 had he managed to hit the button at that point. But he didn't, but nevertheless, he still clears with the fastest time so far. And for the third time on Stage 2 this tournament, we've seen back-to-back clears. Rockets is the only regular to advance to Stage 3 this tournament, and is also the fifth competitor who will be attempting Stage 3 for his first time, and he's the overall seventh competitor to clear Stage 2. But now, there are only two competitors left to take on Stage 2 for the final time on this course. The two All-Stars who have made it this far. They're not only hoping to extend their clear streak for the tournament, as well as allow us to see more attempts on Stage 3, but to extend their own Stage 2 clear streak in the process, and have their final rematch with Stage 3. The first of the two All-Stars to run their final time in this stage and on this course is Daniel IceWolf Roblox, who's making his overall 5th appearance on Stage 2. This is his 4th straight Stage 2 appearance. In the last 2 tournaments, he's cleared this stage. And as I said earlier, that he's the 8th competitor to clear Stage 1 for 4 consecutive tournaments. I guess the way that means it also means that this is his 8th competitor to reach Stage 2 for 4. So, whatever. Point is, here he is on Stage 2 again, and he's up the triple salmon ladder with no trouble onto the dual rope maze. Not going particularly fast, but at the same time, he's not aiming to get a fastest time here because for him that means nothing. The only thing that matters is just to get to Stage 3 and then hopefully to Stage 4. But he is still going at a very reasonable pace. He's onto the beam trenches on the second set now. There's Aussie Bro watching the background. He knows he's watching, or that he's going next. Oh, and Daniel decides to skip the jump and get to the last one beam trenches, but it works out for him and gets by the collapsing steps. And now for the cable circuit. Wraps up for the jump, catches onto the cable, spinning around nicely, catches onto the second cable, and he's through that, and looks like Daniel's gonna clear Stage 2 unless he doesn't push both walls, but he does. He's doing the intended technique, and Daniel IceWolf, for the 3rd tournament in a row, is moving on to Stage 3, and he does it with 6.8 seconds left, which isn't the slowest time, but certainly not the fastest, but who cares? Daniel keeps his streak and legacy going. And now it's time for the final ever Stage 2 attempt on this course. One of the most successful competitors, a ninja warrior of Roblox, still competing. The speed demon, Aussie Bro, who's making his 14th appearance on this course. He's reached this stage more than any other competitor has ever had. That said, this is his first time on Stage 2 since Tournament 19, where he did end up clearing Stage 2. The last time he ever failed Stage 2 was in Tournament 17. He almost did there. He almost slipped out the Cannonball drop. That would have been a devastating way to go out, but he managed to hang on, and he's through it, and now for the triple salmon ladder. Ooh, he slips up on that second set. Yeah, he has failed the triple salmon ladder before, but he's not going to do it this time, and he's beaten it. Now for the duo rope maze. He's caught up on that rope. We're used to seeing Aussie Bro go fast on this, but based on the pace he's going, I don't think he's going to get the fastest time. More so, I think it's just to beat Stage 2 one last time. Not helping that he's suffering a little bit of a lag, but he is going to skip step on the beam trenches, and it works out for him. This is what we're used to seeing from Aussie Bro, him going fast, and for a lot of competitors it doesn't work, but he's one of the few who makes that make that strategy work. He's onto the cable circuit now. He's not going to get the fastest time due to those slip-ups and close calls, but he is going to get past Stage 2 one final time. He's not going to bother regenerating the walls, just goes straight for them. Luckily, they stayed in place for him. And this is something we're not used to seeing from Aussie. The Clapton sounding on him. But Aussie Bro is moving on to Stage 3 for the 7th time in his career. And he has All-Stars Daniel and retired All-Star Firippu celebrating with him and congratulating him for his grand return. It almost ended early on the Cannonball drop when the Cannonball swung too far forward, but thankfully he managed to hang on to it. He also slipped off the bottom of the second set of the triple salmon ladder, but he managed to catch the bottom rung and recover. He got tangled up a bit on both ropes of the duo rope maze, but nothing he couldn't recover from. And he even managed to skip trenches on the beam trenches without failing the obstacle. After that, it was smooth sailing for Aussie Bro. Even though we're not used to seeing Aussie Bro going slow on this course, let alone letting a few obstacles slow him down, he still successfully punched his ticket to Stage 3 and will be attempting it one last time. This is now the end of Stage 2, and as such, we shall say goodbye to it. Are we sure this isn't Tournament 21 with a color palette change? Because this feels more or less like a repeat of Tournament 21. Actually, it isn't, because ever since the Triple Salmon Ladder was introduced in Tournament 12, it has been the Stage 2 Ninja Killer. Even though it's gone through a few changes in the new terrain era, it has always taken out more competitors each tournament who've made it to Stage 2. But this time, we have a new Robloxian destroyer for Stage 2 of this tournament, and it's the Beam Trenches. The Triple Salmon Ladder only took out 2 competitors this tournament, but the Beam Trenches have taken out 4. Congratulations, Skyline James! Your submission has stolen the crown for Stage 2 Ninja Killer. Well, after all is said and done, there are still 9 competitors remaining, and now these Stage 2 survivors will throw down the gauntlet and take on the Dream Killer, commonly known as Stage 3. Left in this tournament are 4 newcomers, 1 regular, 2 veterans, and 2 all-stars. Don't let that somewhat whimsical music fool you. This stage is a beast, and is infamous for crushing people's hopes of possibly achieving total victory. Just like the last tournament, the competitors will have no time limit to clear this stage, but they are only allowed 30 seconds to pause in between obstacles, as these can be disorienting. Speed will no longer be key on this stage, instead it requires overall skill. In the last tournament, Cubic Chaos was the first obstacle. Now it has been moved to the 3rd obstacle, and it has also been slightly nerfed from the last tournament. The distance between each cube is a little closer, not just because of how difficult it was in the last tournament, but also because of the update in jumping physics prior to this tournament mentioned a while ago. And in return, the V-boards, which has been the 3rd obstacle since its introduction in Tournament 18, has been moved to being the 1st obstacle. There's also a new 6th obstacle, the Vertical Limit Kai, replacing the Limited Ascent. The competitors who make it to this obstacle will have to traverse the thin ledges, and then make the front corner jumps, and hang on, because the ledges on this obstacle are thinner than the ledges on the cliffhanger. Anyone who can make it to the end, and make the difficult final jump, will take on the tower that looms above them. 5 of the remaining 9 competitors will be attempting Stage 3 for their first time ever. The 2 veterans will be attempting this particular Stage 3 for their 2nd time, while the 2 all-stars will be attempting this particular Stage 3 for their 3rd time. However, you don't care about that statistic, you only care about results. So let's feed you those results right now as we prepare for the beginning of the end of Stage 3. Kicking off the 3rd stage is newcomer Zequio 124, one of the 4 newcomers to reach this stage, and one of the 5 competitors who will be attending the stage for the first time in their career. Let's see how he does. He did well in stages 1 and 2. We cleared stage 2 with the slowest time. Not that that matters. And here he is. Let's see what he does. He's onto the V-boards. There's Bro watching in the background. Maybe trying to pick up a few strategies or something, because if you're familiar with how Bro did the last 2 times he was on the stage, you can kind of get an idea what's going on in his head. And Ekardus is on the final board, and he's beaten it. Now for the horizontal propeller bars. He's got 30 seconds to rest. Starting the obstacle, and we're going to skip ahead to the end because this obstacle draws on for too long and it gets boring, so we'll just skip ahead and not really see most of those attempts altogether. Anyway, he's on to Cubic Chaos now. This was the stage 3 Ninja Killer in the last tournament. So on to the second cube. Third cube now. Like I said, this has been nerfed because angle jumps would be cut. Or I guess you get cut angle jumps now. That's Roblox update, so that's why this obstacle had to be nerfed, not just because it was so difficult last time. But anyway, got 1 cube to go. Setting up for the jump. Trying to find the right position, doesn't want to slip off. And he gets the jump. Now he just got to get the dismount, and he beats Cubic Chaos. Now for the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. This hasn't really been much trouble since tournament, I believe it was tournament 20. I don't think anyone failed in the last tournament. And so everyone's kind of got an idea of how to do the cliffhanger now. It doesn't mean it's easy. Just a lot of people have put a lot of practice into this. Oh, almost undershoots the jump line. Now he's just got to get the 180-degree jump, and he's got it. And incline. And he beats the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. He's halfway through stage 3, starting with a swing circle and... What? He got onto the first ring, but then walked straight off the front. I guess he kind of overshot the first ring? I'm at a loss for words. Okay, let's move on from that embarrassing fail. Starting with our first veteran to take on stage 3 of this tournament, Kyler DeRusso, who's making his second, interesting entrance. Yep, still clowning around, matches his outfit. So I was trying to say, he's making his second appearance on the 3rd stage. Last tournament, he failed the V-boards, which he's attempting now. The last tournament, it was the 3rd obstacle. This tournament's the 1st obstacle. Getting through nicely, and he's past the V-boards. I would say that's a new personal best, but he's definitely got to get past Cubic Chaos, the new 3rd obstacle, in order to achieve a new personal best. Anyway, here he is on the Cubic Chaos. He didn't fail his last tournament, but I want to say that you shouldn't have any problem with this because, well, I'm afraid of jinxing it. I've done that before on a couple runs this tournament. Even though this obstacle has been nerfed, he faced the butt version last time. Or I guess the part of it that was the Ninja Killer, whatever. The point is that he beat this last time. Hopefully he can do it again this time. Setting up for that jump to that final cube. That one could be tricky, considering the angle it's placed at. He looks to be a little confused on how he's going to attempt this obstacle. I think I kind of see the strategy. He's backing up, make sure he gets your spot, but he's got to, make sure he doesn't get caught by the stick or caught by the jump, but he makes the jump. Now I just got to get the dismount, and he does, and he's beaten Cubic Chaos. This is a personal best for Kyler. Definitely not clowning around here. Now he's onto the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. Can he get past this? Approaching it slowly. Doesn't want to slip off. Alright, now just gotta get that angle jump. He's got it. Can he make that jump? He's gonna... This is the tough... He's gotta get through this tough jump. Get on the very edge of that ledge. Catch onto that bottom one. He's really taking his time preparing for it. He's gone to the very edge. Gets the jump. Only got a few jumps to go. Alright, now for the 180-degree jump. He's got it. One more ledge to go. He's got it. Now for the last jump, and he's beaten the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. We now have back-to-back clears on the Cliffhanger, and he doesn't make the same mistake that ZQ did. He's onto the swing circle. Swinging nicely. He shouldn't have any problem with this, considering that you see a lot of rings and circuses, and he's, dressed up like a clown. Onto the third ring now. He's got the fourth ring. Now he just got to catch the ladder. And he does. Jumps away around, and now he'll be the first to take on the new vertical limit Kai. These ledges are smaller than the Cliffhanger ledges. And of course, you got those two transitions. Got the first one. Can he get the second? Yes, he does. Now he just got to get the dismount. And he slips right off. It doesn't catch on to the truss, and he's out, technically, on the vertical limit Kai. He's technically its first victim. No doubt a great run from Kyler here. Nothing to be ashamed of. Next up is the second veteran taking on this stage, BravurCoolio 02, who's making his third appearance on the third stage, and his second straight appearance on this stage. Last tournament, he went out on Cubic Chaos. He first reached this stage in Tournament 7 as the Wizard's Dude. He failed the Truss Slider, which was the final obstacle of Stage 3, and he was the only competitor to go out on. Going quickly through the V-boards, and he's passed it. Well done. Horizontal propeller bars now. I'm going to get on it and just skip ahead to the end. Now for Cubic Chaos. Let's see if we can get his revenge on it. He's going to step back. I mean, his time's not going to reset just because he touched the first cube. Oh. Taking his time. And now he's onto it for real. Like, this obstacle was buffed in the good grief. Has been nerfed for this tournament, but that's not going to stop him from slowing down. Except, preparing up for that final jump. Well, it's the second to last jump, and it's the hardest jump on this obstacle. He's got it, and he's beaten Cubic Chaos. There's now 3 competitors now who've beaten Cubic Chaos. Though they could be a late murder, kind of like how the beam trenches were. And going quickly through the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger, set up for that jump, and he's got it! Can make the 100-degree jump? Yes, he will! And he's quickly through the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. He's not stopping at all. Oh, never mind. He looked like he could go straight for the swing circle, but then he hesitated for a second. He's probably applying more crappy spray. That was the reason for him stopping on Cubic Chaos. And at least it helped him. Maybe it'll help him get through the swing circle and hopefully the vertical limit Kai. Not sure if it would help through Truss Junction or even the bar dropper. But I guess we'll have to see, assuming that he gets past the swing circle. So on the final ring now, can he catch the ladder? Yes, he will. And he's going to slowly walk around. Oh, never mind. Go straight for the vertical limit Kai. He's not messing around here. Oh my god. And he's past that now on the Truss Junction. This will be his first time attempting this obstacle. How will he handle this? He's going to climb the first truss and catch on the second one. Jump around that, climbing up that. Catch the third. Oh, and he fails the wraparound jump to the third truss, and he's out on Truss Junction. Second time on this stage that he's failed a truss-based obstacle. Coincidentally, it's the 7th obstacle of Stage 3, which technically ties his personal best. Next up is Newcomer Destiny of Gods, the second of the 4 newcomers to get to Stage 3. He's also the second of the 5 who's taken on Stage 3 for their first time. Ignore the fact that he keeps saying he's a regular, he's a newcomer. I think I might have accidentally, set him... added a wrong note about him being a regular, or just counting his bonus running appearance as an official run. And despite all that lag, he's through the V boards and supposedly through the horizontal propeller bars. I don't know if it's a issue with the cameraman or Destiny himself. I guess it's Destiny that we are having a laggy stage 3 run. Anyway, he's on to Cubic Chaos now. Grabbing up each jump. Oh, and he slips off the third cube, doesn't get a jump off, and he's the first victim of Cubic Chaos this tournament. That's a bummer. We're moving on now to newcomer number 3, Professor Skittles. He cleared with the second fastest time of stage 2, and did pretty good on stage 1. Let's hope that all translates to stage 3. First up is the V-boards. Not hesitating with the jumps. He's getting through them nicely. Drop to the third board. Catches the 4. Can he get the wraparound to the dismount? Looks like he's setting up for that. And he gets by! Well done. Alright, horizontal propeller bars. Catches onto that. Once again, skipping to the end. And he's through that. Now for Cubic Chaos. Just claimed its first victim. Professor Skittles doesn't want to be the second. Preparing himself to take on this obstacle in general. Here he goes. On the third cube. It's the jump where Destiny failed. He got the fourth jump. Can he get the jump to the fifth? Yes, he does. Alright, can he get that hard jump? First 3 competitors got past it. Will he be the fourth? No, he will not. He will not even get a jump off. Tried to get a late jump and waited just a little too long and got jump cut. And it looks like Cubic Chaos has schooled this professor. Well, we're a little over halfway through stage 3. There's just 4 competitors left to go. Next up is Batman Wing 123, the last of the newcomers taking on stage 3. And he's the 4th competitor who will be attempting stage 3 for the first time in his career. Alright, he's got on the V-boards. He got a little support from Rocket's Glare. We saw in this interview that they technically trained together. So I hope that train pays off. He's onto horizontal propeller bars. Right in that first bar. He's job. He got caught by the truss. Gets on the middle and he falls off. Tried to catch back to the end of that first propeller, but he missed the jump and he's the first victim at the horizontal propeller bars. Let's take another look at that. He was riding the propeller like a lot of competitors do, and as you can see, he got his head caught on the truss and fell back to the middle, which is allowed, but then he tried to jump for the end of that first propeller and just missed it. And it just had to be the final tournament of this course where the horizontal propeller bars claimed its first victim. And just like that, we're down to our final 3. All the newcomers and veterans who made it this far have been eliminated. Props to the newcomers for getting this far, and congrats to the veterans for achieving a new personal best. Braver technically tied for his personal best, so that's great. And what's interesting is that the first 3 competitors each got past the cliffhanger, while the previous 3 didn't even reach the cliffhanger. Cubic Chaos is still proven to be a killer, despite it being made easier this tournament. With all that said, however, the best are still to come. Hopefully they have what it takes to reach the final stage. Kicking off the final 3 is the only regular to reach this stage, Rocket's Glare, and he's the final competitor who will be attempting the 3rd stage for his first time. I never really got to say this on stage 1 because I forgot, is that he has potential to do really well in this course. And it's showed in stage 1 as he cleared stage 1 with the 2nd fastest time, and then beat stage 2 with the fastest time. So, ooh, almost slipped off the horizontal propeller bars. I was just about to jinx it, but he held on and has passed it, and now for Cubic Chaos, wasting no time at all, getting through these obstacles. Though he may want to consider slowing down Cubic Chaos here, because if he rushes it, he might slip off a jump. Alright, he's on to the second to last cube. Now he's got to get a hard jump. Catches the cube. Dismount, he's past the Cubic Chaos. He'll be the fourth to take on the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. He's clearly happy about that. Finally had someone getting past Cubic Chaos, you know. 2 of the previous 3 went out on it. So the first 3 take on the Cliffhanger, and he's kind of going to the same speed that Braver was. Remember that final jump, he catches it. Gets the 180-degree jump, he's not really giving me time to talk, and he's past the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. Well done to Rockets, or I guess I can call him Andra, I don't know. Well anyway, he's onto the swing circle now. Catch the second ring. Got that swinging nicely. Still hangs on, he's onto the third ring now. Get to the fourth. Ooh. I got cut. Continue swinging, and he's got the fourth ring now. Now he just got to swing onto the ladder. And he does. How is he going to get around the ladder? Is he going to jump around? Yes, he will. Now for the vertical limit Kai. Braver did beat this obstacle, but it did take out Kyler. Will he be the second victim of it, or will he be a second to clear it? He'll be the second to clear it. He's on to Trust Junction now. Now he's going for the way it was originally intended, just going for those regular jumps rather than climbing the trusses. And he doesn't get the jump to the fourth and final trust of Trust Junction. He's out. Let's take another look at that. He was doing the side jump technique, which is not the way to do that jump. If you look closely and I slow it down here, it looked like he bumped onto something, but it really is that he just slightly undershot the jump. Couldn't really grab onto the support of that final truss, thus technically undershooting the jump. Now Trust Junction has claimed its second victim in this tournament. Only 2 competitors left now, and they are the All-Stars. I've hyped them up before, just once more here. Both are looking for revenge on this stage for taking them out many times, and finally get to the final stage. Can they avenge their 98 fallen comrades and prove why they're the All-Stars of this course? Let's find out. Starting with the first of those 2 All-Stars, Daniel Icewolf Roblox. Interesting Roblox height he's gone on. And an interesting intro. Anyway, this is his 4th appearance on Stage 3. He's reached this stage in the last 2 tournaments. Tournament 20, he went out on the first obstacle, which was the brief return of Cycling Road. Last tournament, he achieved a new personal best, going out on the ladder in between the swing circle and limited ascent. Still an awkward way to fail on this stage, but we did technically see that again this tournament with ZQ. And as I say all that, Daniel's already on to Cubic Chaos. Made easy work of the V-boards and of course the horizontal propeller bars. There's really no way you can send that obstacle. I mean, technically it is, but not many people actually do it. Anyway, can he get the hard jump on Cubic Chaos? Yes, he will. He catches onto the cube and clears Cubic Chaos. Now he'll be taking on the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger for 2nd tournament in a row. He beat it last time. Can he do it again this time? He's onto it. Getting through it rather quickly. While he's not known for going particularly fast on this course, or at least throughout this tournament so far, that doesn't seem to really be stopping him on Stage 3 here. And just like that, he's past the Cliffhanger, so he's 2 for 2 on it. Alright, he's onto the swing circle now. He's technically got to get past the ladder of this obstacle, or that follows this, in order to get a new personal best. But he's taking his time preparing the jump. He can do so, he's 11:30 seconds, oh, a little bit of lag. Yeah, the time's not going to reset it because he caught onto the ring, so he's got to get moving. 5 seconds, get moving, Daniel. I know you're worried about this obstacle lagging on you, and that's a good reason to regen it, but no, there is a time limit for you to get going. It almost ran out. If he had run out of time, he would have been disqualified, which is, in my opinion, the worst way to go out on this stage. As I say all that, he's on to the final ring of the swing circle. He's onto the ladder now. Is he going to do what he did last time? Oh, he's going to catch onto the side of it. That's pretty clever. Didn't think that would be possible, but he did it. He's onto the vertical limit Kai. On the third one now. What's he going to do here? Jump onto the first truss. And it looks like he kind of straight to the support of it. He climbs up the second truss. Gets onto the third set. Gonna go around. What's he going to do here? Do the way he does. He doesn't make the same mistake that Rocket Square did. And he's beaten Truss Junction, and now he'll be the 4th competitor to take on the Bar Dropper. Or the 4th of this era. Generation. New terrain era. Whatever. Oh my goodness, he's speeding through this. Previous were like taking their time getting it down the track. You gotta be careful, because if you go too fast, there's a chance the bar could derail from the track. And especially so on this one, on this first track. You don't get it even on the drop, and it's gonna fall off. And he got it, second track, and he's just gonna speed away to the end. It almost lifts off, so now he's evening it up a bit. And how are we doing the final jump here? And he makes the final jump! Daniel Icewolf clears stage 3! He's become the 3rd competitor of this era to clear stage 3. And the first to clear stage 3 this tournament. You saw he was taking his time on the first 2 stages, all just to get back to this point. This time around, he decided to go for speed, for the most part. It's almost like he wanted to become the speed demon of stage 3, but it worked. And Daniel is moving on to the final stage, the first to do so this tournament, and he'll be the 2nd competitor of the new terrain era to attempt the final stage, and the 3rd overall of the post-demon era. Well done, Daniel. Well done. It is official. We will see the final stage be attempted this tournament. But we're not done on stage 3 just yet. There's still 1 competitor left to go. He has the potential to join Daniel, his fellow All-Star, in the final stage. Will he do it? We're about to find out. There he is, the final All-Star to take on stage 3. The Speed Demon himself, Aussie Bro. He's making his 7th appearance on stage 3. And the 3rd time in the new terrain era. He last reached this stage in tournament 19. Throughout the times he's attempted this stage, he's never gone past the V-boards. But here it is now, staring him in the face, as the first obstacle of stage 3. Can he finally conquer the obstacle that's conquered him the previous 2 times he reached this stage? He's making great work the 3rd board. Oop. Now he's on the 3rd board, on the 4th. Now for the wraparound. And he's finally beaten the V-boards. Aussie Bro has conquered his nemesis, and we're going to skip ahead to the Cubic Chaos. How will he approach this? Going quickly through these. He jumped to the 4th. He's gone to the 4th. And he undershoots a jump to the 5th cube. Oh, it looked like he had it, but he just couldn't get a grip. Let's take another look at that. It looked like he was setting up for the jump to that 5th cube. If I slow down just a bit right here, it looked like he just slightly glitched onto the slanted edge of that 4th cube, or just couldn't get a good run off the cube to catch onto the 5th cube. Either way, Aussie Bro has unfortunately become the 3rd and final victim of cubic chaos, and he will not join Daniel in the final stage or even achieve a new personal best in this final tournament. Oh, that is gut-wrenching for Aussie, and a real shame for him to go out like this. And that is now the final time we will see Stage 3 in action. And it left no shortcomings. The horizontal propeller bars have claimed its first and only victim, and despite Cubic Chaos being nerfed this tournament, it remains the Robloxian destroyer of Stage 3, taking out 3 of the 8 who attempted it, including the all-star Aussie Bro. The only tournament where the Vertical Limit Kai was in play, it did take out 1 competitor. And after all of that, there is still 1 competitor remaining, and he alone will take on the behemoth that is the final stage tower. The final stage, a giant tower over 30 meters tall and consisting of 2 obstacles. The 15-meter orb climb, and then the 14-meter G-pole. And the lone Stage 3 survivor will have just 40 seconds to climb these 2 obstacles and press the red button awaiting him at the top before he can enjoy the view of the whole course. If he succeeds, he will become the newest and last Grand Champion of Ninja Warrior of Roblox. It would be the first time for a winner to be crowned since Gunpei Shiratori in Tournament 11. We literally had to go through half of this course's lifespan just to see the possibility of total victory being achieved for a 5th tournament. Daniel's got quite the crowd who will be cheering him on to victory, including fellow All-Star and Epic Reshiram, who is still disappointed he went out the way he did on Stage 1, but at least he can watch his friend take on the final stage. Last tournament, it was an Epic who reached this point on the course and was so close to achieving total victory, but couldn't do it. It was also last tournament when an Epic was ranked an All-Star that he got to the final stage, proving he well deserved the rank. Now it's Daniel's turn. On the same tournament, he's been ranked an All-Star, proving that he also deserves the rank of All-Star. This is definitely a repeat of the last tournament, result-wise. Hopefully Daniel won't fail the same way. Only 29 meters separate Daniel from the ground to the button awaiting him at the top. Can he reach the top and press it in just 40 seconds? We're about to find out once we hear the 2 booms and then the bang. And that's it! The lamps have lit up, he begins his climb. Gets caught in the 3rd orb, but he manages to get up it now. Continues to climb. Number 3, caught in that orb, quickly catches up to it. Now that orbs get higher. It's not stopping him, he's not losing his grip on any of the orbs. Down to less than 20 seconds. Oh boy, 15 seconds now. He's still on the orb climb. He's really got to speed up the G-pole. He's doing what an Epic did last time. He's really ascending up this pole, getting the jumps. Come on, Daniel. He's so close. 5 seconds. Come on, Daniel. He's so close. He can do it. Daniel! He has done it. He's reached the top of the tower. Press the button. Concert, say ha! Daniel Oswald, the newest Grand Champion, has conquered the course, the final tournament, and we have a winner! Daniel Icewolf Roblox has won the post-demon era of Ninja Warrior of Roblox. Oh man, that was no doubt nerve-wracking, but Daniel has done it, which is barely enough time to spare. And Daniel is now the 8th competitor to achieve total victory on this course, and the first one to achieve total victory since Gunpei Shiratori in Tournament 11. It literally took the second half of this course's entire tenure to find its final champion. Feeling. I love it. It's the first time in almost 4 years we can celebrate like this and enjoy this moment. And for the first and last time in the new terrain era. And with that, we've come to the end of this tournament and the end of the road. 100 competitors came to the course with the goal of becoming champion. Along the way, many hearts were broken and many tears were shed. But through it all, one man came along and did what was thought to be impossible for 11 tournaments. He stood at the top and became the newest and final champion. Since the course redesigned in Tournament 18 to compensate the new Roblox terrain, we've seen new and returning faces, some of which have risen up to make history on this course, while others have come to say goodbye. Out of the 506 we've seen take on the new terrain era, we saw 75 conquer Stage 1, 28 conquer Stage 2, 2 conquer Stage 3, and 1 conquer Stage 4. 5 tournaments have been hosted on this new Robloxian soil in the span of 18 months. And now it's time to put an end to it. I thank you all for being a part of this journey. I would have never made it this far without you guys and your support, watching and liking the tournaments, running the course. You guys have been there for me through it all, and I can't thank you enough. All I can say is, thank you all so much for giving me the best 5 years of my life. I'll never forget the memories that have been made, good and bad. Special thanks to those who contributed to this tournament are in the description, as well as the link to their channels. Thank you all again for watching, and now I shall stand with my friends here, signing off and conclude this tournament with one last montage of the best moments of the new terrain era. And until I see you again on another video of mine, ciao peoples.